Yeah, and I think when we saw the defense, it was actually stronger than we expected based off both in the Gambit game and the game against Von Liberty. So I think we should see it, and it should even be more prepared, I think.
Look at these percentages. I think this might be the most undetermined, group of percenttages we've seen so far in a Prime Gaming Agent Select.
They played so many times recently that it finally we have some actual data there from Stage 3.
Yeah, very, very interesting. But I also want to just call back the point you made, Ball. Both of these teams having gone 1-1 so far on this map at Masters Berlin, and most recently for both of them, it was the loss. So I'm looking at their most recent compositions and wondering, do they want to make changes from those? Is there a small switch that they might pull out in order to find the advantage that maybe last time they didn't have?
So for no switches,
there's one. Nitro on the Astro.
There we go. Finally! How long have we been waiting for this?
They got there eventually.
They
finally got there. I'm so happy to see that. I'm in the anti-Omen club. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of Omen over Astro. No! Why?
I felt it coming when we saw the Astro, because it would just be really, really difficult.
I was happy for 2 seconds.
And crushed your soul, just like when 100 Thieves.
They give and they take. They give and they take. Either way, it's 100 Thieves and Ascend locking in their compositions for map number 1, Ascent. We're hoping for a banger of a series here, and I'm sure Pansy and Hypoc are ready to deliver.
I can't stop grinning at the idea of this game. I absolutely love watching these two teams. We've had the pleasure of watching Ascend over in EMEA, finding this recent form that propelled them to this stage. But if you didn't get behind 100 Thieves, watching them come into their recent form as well, where have you been? What have you been watching? We are about to jump into this Hypoc. I want to talk to you about that veto in a moment's time. But for now, we said Asuna's going to be the first person getting contact on this, and Tommy Taria is down and out.
That's going to get spotted out by the other, and he actually stays here. We'll find the first on Keyless. We'll dash back in, Cena tries to follow up, but Ethan.
Still able to do that, even while being a little worse for wear. Hiko now on that lean over as well from Market. It is a 4v3, so let's see what Bone Cold, Zeke, Starzo do with this one. Might have to hit the brakes for a second, try and pause for thought, maybe punish an over-rotation. But look, we're talking about 100 Thieves here. They don't really do that. They're very, very well-situated, experienced players. I can't stress that enough. And now we see what Ascend can build back from this.
Still in position, nothing at all in terms of contact over there, and all three accounted for pretty much. So 100 Thieves happy to still commit all three players here on bid. Actually, Zeke will get the better of Asuna. Just 2 more to deal with here. Bone Cold still wary. The possibility that Steel's gone for a wander. I think now they're feeling a little more comfortable. There's just 2 remaining here on B site.
What's the thing? We're down to 35 seconds, and that's still a fair amount of time. That pick on towards kind of that CT side is actually huge. The paranoia has to be now respected. You can see 100 Thieves just kind of sitting deeper in the site. They're going to force the hand of it. Now know there's at least 2 players close by. Lovely combination. The swing from Hiko pulls the attention. The backlines from Nitro, who still needs to do a bit more, though, because Zeke is still doing very well here. Jump peek in. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade out, and now a 1v1. Steel, nerves of, and Starzo, the young gun on the other side. Spike to be planted.
Spike planted.
Still trying to close that gap. Starzo still sitting over by Tribox. 27 HP is all he's got to work with. Steel is going to close this gap, but does he check on the side? Maybe he has to check towards the backside. He's going to have to make that sound if he wants to drop down. Steel waits. He's still trying to draw out this player. He's going to go through every single option. Audio cue now. Hard Starzo! There it is. That's a confidence boost in map 1. That pause for thought, that first round coming out for them, that's a big one. Now let's talk map veto, Hypoc. Let's go back to that. Let's kind of talk bigger picture, because you noted a couple of things here.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting to see, and I'd say little birdie Crimson, I caught him just after the Supermassive Blaze series, and talked about the confidence being knocked on Haven, right? So again, that's map 2, but Ascent here, I got to say, the first time really I've not felt happy watching Ascend. And you talk about landform and bringing that kind of confidence across the land. That's a huge factor in this matchup in particular. So it is interesting we've started here. Now, do we see any real adjustments from Ascend on the full buy rounds at least? This time around, actually, it's another heavy lean towards B, and it's wide open right now because 100 Thieves going for a wander through. They've got all the way to top mid here, so they're going to get this information nice and early, but depends what Ascend can achieve in the meantime.
Don't mind a gamble stack. No? Absolutely do not mind it from 100 Thieves either. You got to try and make something happen with lesser weaponry. Go for it. Don't mind it. You know, pick the wrong side. 50-50 chance it happens. But now it's, okay, can they cost them some weaponry? And on the flip side for Ascend, can we keep this post plant clean? Because we're actually kind of locked in here. It's a little bit trickier to work your way out. And you can see 100 Thieves are set for this now. They're going to sit here and just try and keep them in. So Ascend will have to be very aware of this potential. See Ethan waiting on the other side. Hiko has been caught off. But Nitro's done well. That's going to be one found. Now we wait for the other side. Now it's more that CT side battle. Asuna is still on the deeper side of it. Bone Cold flashed up. They're in a little bit of trouble off this. Forced away. They're going to stick that fight. Good damage again. That's 2 now down.
One enemy
Killers playing a dangerous game, but he had Zeke by his side.
Yeah, he's going to come through, not going to find another one.
Okay.
Nice little set up there on the back of the turret again. Ethan just holding that flash as soon as the turret gets contact. Come through, and again, damage done.
Yep.
See how much that matters in the grand scheme of things, but Ascend should be able to force their way through with the SMGs carried, and actually potential to... Oh, we'll have to wait and see what Bone Cold and Starzo decide upon. Well, they just run this through. It's going to be, yeah, again, I think they're just going to try and run down A here. They're leaning that way very heavily here. It's in the buy phase, and to take a quick look actually what they're running into. Obviously, Steel's utility set up fairly default from what we saw from the pistol round at least, but do have Nitro on hand as well.
Here.
A little bit slower actually, and 100
Look at the
Thieves getting a
progress.
little proactive. Yeah, out of B main.
I do want to highlight again, looking at the likes of Ethan and how he plays that Sky, I still think he's one of the best there is at this so far, be in a more passive supportive manner or to just try and particularly be that fighter himself. However, at this point we do see that territory now being garnered by Ascend. They've taken over short, they're kind of filtering towards the site. You see how deep 100 Thieves are playing. Actually still just gets run straight over. Cened's right there, but that's Ethan, that's Nitro getting onto the scene. And now Killers, last one alive, will handle 3 stand, that's important. And again, this is the early rounds, this is about economy building, right? If you're new to this game and we keep going, well, 3, why is 3 being alive important? It's to keep the funds healthy, to be able to repurchase those rifles going forward, if needed.
And actually, it's a huge benefit that Ascend are able to draw out as much utility as they can just from that push through towards door. But the fact that there's a Trailblazer and Asuna pushes all the way out through B main, actually, those 3 to 4 seconds that they buy with that utility effectively, the rotation's already come through. They know that there's no other pressure elsewhere and they can commit to holding A. So we see it stacked up there, and 100 Thieves finding 3 kills in quick succession.
Take flight. Enemy mark.
Zeke actually one away from the Hunter's Fury already. Good progress early on. Seeing once again 100 Thieves looking to get very, very antsy outside A this time around, but nothing found on the back of that.
No, but they can prop up Asuna with that op. He
Yes,
can just sit
exactly.
here for a little time,
They
allow
can
them
lean
to
away.
explore middle again. Now you can see Ethan starting to lean back through confirmation that someone's at least working towards Cat. Kind of maybe building up towards middle. Good fact finding here, but they are still sitting pretty deep towards that A side. They're giving up a lot of this room, but it's actually middle that Cened is leaning towards right now. Well, the players, I'm waiting to see if he does become activated in this series as well. Ball goes up. Be Steel on the side. He has 2 players by his side. Nitro playing towards the stairs. Very cognizant of this push is going to be coming in. To wait to see how those initial trades go. Nitro feels that timing coming in. Just jiggle peek on it. Gives it away a little bit. And Hiko now locked off slightly by that smoke towards CT, and again, this 3-2 split's going to be coming in right about now. They're starting to take that space as Steel waits, ducked down on the site. The spray's good for 1, needs a second, needs a follow-up, he's in danger! Nitro bails him out towards Zeke, but with Cened's success, the site is now into question. Nitro at the back of Boathouse, though, just holds his nerve, stays patient. Cened looks left, looks right, he gets the frag towards Nitro, and now Starzo and Cened. The last 2 stand, but they do have the site, and they've got the spike and the res.
Actually, Bladestorm available for Cened as well if he wants to throw that in the mix. 100 Thieves closing the distance now, might even be able to prevent this plant from going down.
That's a
Ethan
big
does
denial!
just that.
Huge shot from Ethan, right on the wallbang, predicting that plant spot, and now time is everything! Ethan! He doesn't need to see him to kill him! Takes down Bone Cold, and Ascend are going to be reeling off the back of that. Ethan, that's the value of that man. He is an incredible player at this point. Just denying that spike plant, not once, twice coming in now.
Really, really well done by 100 Thieves. Get back there, and again, it looked like initially Ascend had got enough pressure to come through, but Steel's utility once again on lane, slaying up. Again, the first one here, the ping comes through, Starzo will fall. The first and the second's just as free.
It's just
Must be nice.
dreamy,
Yeah.
isn't it? You're loving that one.
Let's go, baby. Nice run, Ethan. Good shit.
At least he can say it, I can't, but I agree.
Yeah.
Now that has taken the economy away from Ascend here, but Cened's going to try and levy that. Bring the knives out. Has a little light armor to supplement too, so it's not all over yet. Gonna at least bait the shot on the first. Gonna now take that angle, smokes in, and she's gonna push it. Now the problem is there's someone right next to him in this. I just saw him a second ago, but it's Ethan! He ignores Cena, takes the fight on the site, keeps us in check. Cena still stands though. Oh, it's not what you wanted to see for Cena. We need this man to come through here. He's one of the best players we've seen, a natural talent, but he's been a little quiet. Over now, Keyless and CNED. 2v4, and you can see the pressure. It's overwhelming, and that's a shutdown. 100 Thieves looking sharp here. 4 alive. Didn't get too rattled by CNED then.
Well, it didn't, and not even giving CNED an opportunity to find something, to be honest with you. Again, Ethan's decision-making on the spot to come through again. Here's it, swings through, Starzo first. Again, just barely any response, if anything.
I just love the fact that he pushed that smoke as CNED went through as well.
Yeah.
Be it just fortuitous timing, whatever it may be, but a great opportunity because they're not going to be looking that way because CNED's just taking that space.
Well, exactly. As soon as CNED goes inside that smoke, I think straight away they're like, right, wall up behind him, don't worry, just secure sight, let CNED do his thing. So, like I said, that split second decision from Ethan basically won them around, stopped that from even getting started. A little slower actually initially, but 100 Thieves still looking to push out, find this information nice and early, and adjust accordingly. You're seeing that right now. They're going to commit to 3 players towards B. Actually, Hiko coming across towards Nitro here in spawn. I think they're going to trade places. Again, Ascend have achieved effectively nothing here so far. Spike not committed either way. Again, 100 Thieves not giving them anything. These little pushes in the early round, it's just to get Asuna tucked into a spot where, again, he finds the pick or the information's there early enough.
You still have to hard clear all these angles.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still, you know, you have to go through that process. Now, CNED has taken over enough of that A-lean that he can clear wine and make sure it's still fine. There's going to be the KJ ult coming through. That's going to put Nitro on red alert. A 1-for-1 trade is going to open up short now. So Steel knows he's on a bit of an island. Has to play his life, play a little bit of time here. Maybe give up the site for a second. He's going to now fall away.
Steel actually lucky not to get spammed there, honestly. Ethan will flash through. Zeke got to slip away. Spike only just getting planted now. Cena will find Asuna.
Spike planted.
Zeke's the next port of call, though, and he is low HP, down to 30 right now.
Yeah, on the side they have a decent crossfire to hold as well. This could be the linchpin to this playback through. If this can get broken down, that kind of post-plant on site becomes a little bit trickier. Nice flash, but a better shot from Zeke. Good trade from Steel, though. Now it's Steel and Hiko. A 2v3. Time working against them here. HP's not perfect. Yeah, he's not going to get that one towards Keyless. Perfect play on the angle, but Hiko's been clutch before. I think this one might be a little too far for him. Starzo, brilliant work. And Ascend needed that after having a couple of rounds where they found no fruit for all that labor.
Did indeed. And we see 100 Thieves adjust at all, because, again, these little pieces, like I said, noted, they're great at buying time, but initially now Ascend have lent a little deeper back into a default. Not willing to really challenge any of these close angles at all. And now we'll have to see. I mean, again, outside of Seekers getting popped or Ethan and Asuna just going a little bit deeper, but the operator's the thing. Yes, you get to a spot. It's not as if you really want to go pushing all the way up mid or out on cat or anything like that. It's around as it'll be a mid peak actually for Asuna. And Ascend just going to stack up outside tiles, and this time around, again, there to greet any B main pressure, but it's not coming through this time.
No.
Okay, well.
Ethan, man, he's having one of those games. It was a good trade for Killers. Luckily that came in, at least it wasn't like that. Okay, well, that's a free kill. It really could have been. So, okay, that's been dealt with. Starzo's now started to clear as well towards that B main. Once maybe finding where Ethan was, kind of working out where that op is, they can start taking that space back. They still have to get past Nitro, who's been playing on those stairs. The double stack towards top mid for now. Still patiently waiting on the other side of the map. He's just biding time at this point. Nitro. Right there. Aware of the possibility. CNED's still around here, looking to punish that CTP. Couldn't get it. Has to fall away, and as I said, this is some very tricky work. Now, at this point, this is now going to pendulum swing towards Steel. He's been here the vast majority of this round, watching a wall. The man is...
This setup, though. He's in line, the turret spots, the nano swarms there with the gravity well. It's going to slow this right down.
Oh,
beautiful stuff, but it's a 1-for-1.
It is great trade. Again, Keyless' trades so far in this round have been essential for the survival. Hiko, though, he just knows it too well. Going to fall away, play safely. Maybe expecting a lurk through middle, but no one's on it. And now with 10 seconds left, I'm seeing that ult looming for hiko, so that plant now becomes a problem for Ascend, and there it is. Hiko pops it, doesn't get the tag yet, and actually Cena gets away with it. Bit of a fortunate exchange. Zeke can spun out one towards short as well. So now they have a good idea where two players currently are at least going to be trying to play back from, but how do Ascend get around that additional player?
This recon bolt could be huge for Zeke, actually. Senior with the operator, though, he has to find this first one.
And this is the chance for it. Now knows there's a fair few players coming from heaven. One goes up, one goes down. It's not a shot. Cena's wanted, instantaneously punished by Nitro. Oh, and Zeke's made a meal of it as well. 100 Thieves grinning on this one. That could have been way dicier, but it just wasn't.
I mean, it's a great, again, for Hiko to fall away back. The Hunter's Fury comes up. 10 seconds left on the clock. Not even looking for a tag, but just to try and deny this plant coming through. First in, look at it. Actually, it could have been 3 for Ethan with that line up there inside the smoke. But this setup in particular, again, when it gets towards that late round, this desperation, you know, all these close angles to clear out. The turret, the nano swarm, and the gravity well, it can slow that down before it even gets started. Again, buy time for the rotation to come through. Even though Steel goes 1 for 1, it's a massive win for 100 Thieves.
It is, and looking at how these rounds have kind of come down, I think most people looking at where the rifles have been on the full buys, where it's kind of swinging, 100 Thieves are coming out looking quite nice here. I want to see CNED come online, man. I'm one of this, you know, it's hard to not cheer for him. When he is on, he plays the most beautiful Valorant, but right now he is finding it very hard to find space here. Small opportunities missed, but they are not easy shots to hit. Now he will have to just suffer down on the frenzy within the moment. But there are still a couple of rifles on board for Ascend.
I was going to say, looking at the purchase on both sides here, see, we'll get the Aldrone tag, and Steel's going to eat the first shot from the Hunter's Fury as well. Starzo actually follows up on that. Nitro falls, and Sight under a lot of pressure here. The Cena will get an upgrade, and their purchase wasn't looking perfect. It was a Frenzy and a Sheriff on the side of Cena to Bone Cold. Locked down in response here because the Hunter's Fury's been burnt up.
Yeah, great response, and it will at least allow them to step back in if they can maybe catch a player on the way out. No one's going to be leaning through early. You can see Ethan starting to explore as well towards short. Cened's still chilling out at the bottom there. See how much he can get away with. He gets checked on Steel. Very diligent in this. Nice deep flash as well. That's going to keep them at bay. Second to follow. And there's the swing. Steel's up for the fight, but he loses it. There's the shutdown from Ascend. They needed that and then some. 3 alive. Rifles now can be filtered through. Ops picked up. A dreamy round for them.
And like I said, on the back of actually spreading things pretty thin financially. 3 rifles carried into that, and like I said, Steel was on a classic at the start. I'm sure he did have a main weapon and doing Steel things, but I think ultimately the plan there was for them to rely heavily on that lockdown, and the fact that the Hunter's Fury is burnt on the way in obviously is a big sway in their favor. Look at it again, Cena going to get that operator back on board. Nitro the Master actually going to come through with
that. It's so good! That was so good from Asuna. He still needs more though, but he can't convert. Now Ethan just piles on in. They try to make something happen, be proactive. Quelled quickly on the other side. Now we have to see. Ascend just holding for a second. They're like, okay, someone just flew at us down middle. Pure speed, power, and aggression just coming through. Rez comes in. And Nitro and Hiko going to be finding it hard to find value now with these even slight upgrades on Nitro.
As well, they can. They've done no follow-up actually from 100 Thieves to get, but Hiko has got himself tucked into back sight. Nice, so now going to try and get something with the Master on the way in. Whether or not he's going to be able to find one here, actually 3-2 will be spotted, will be dealt with. Hiko has a recon bomb to deal with, and it will be a prime gaming floor. Actually, excuse me, no, the revive came through. Thought it was 5 alive.
It looked flawless, though. I did like the intent from 100 Thieves. Again, trying something a little quirky, a little out there, a little aggressive. The flash was decent.
I mean, actually, the stun's perfect here.
It was good.
Asuna's pretty unlucky not to find the second.
Beautiful spray control, even though following that player bounding on through. And look, if we have a game where Starzo's hitting it.
Nice killers, nice.
And you've got to be happy about it. Now, it looks like there's been enough rounds that 100 Thieves have gone, okay, let's take a second. So maybe just have a talk through this. We've now got a buy coming in. We want to get everything in the right place. Let's identify which side to work for them that wasn't before.
Yeah, and the difficulty comes now, and yes, it's on that round where they're willing to throw the Blade Storm in a little set piece to try and retake control of towers. I think actually it's on the back of Ascend, playing very slowly, right? Again, with these little pieces that 100 Thieves have been trying on one side of the map or the other. haven't really even found the information. It's just been the lack of information, right? The confirmation that they're not there. So this would be interesting, whether or not that's a round that kind of forces 100 Thieves to adjust slightly and maybe just play a little deeper, or whether or not they continue. Let's get Asuna back on the operator once again. And just looking here, he is set up on the same side as Ethan.
Back-to-back timeouts? No, just the graphic having a change. So that's a bit weird.
Again, look at it. It's, I mean, on that side of the map, Bone Cold's all the way back in lobby with kills. I think they're anticipating the same thing once again. The turret will go up here. Yep. It's going to spot any push coming out. But there's nothing in mid for 100 Thieves at all.
Oh, steal. Got to be careful. He's got 3 players on the other side here. And yeah, he has Nitro around. Asuna now knows there's someone relatively close by. So again, contact made pretty much on both sides of the map, so they've got a decent early understanding. And for Ascend, they've now shown presence both sides. They can now decide where they want to go with this.
And even just throwing out the alarm bot there and it being noted. But hiko's already preemptively rotated this side. Cosmic Divide will come through. Actually, it's going to create a little pocket here just on site.
Swarm grenade out.
And just in front of Dice, actually, for a plant potentially to come through.
There's a lot of bodies on this side now. 100 Thieves have read this
I love
quite
that wall
early.
behind it, actually, as well.
And there it is. As soon as you show your face, Steel's just playing in between it. He still gets away with at least one in this, but hiko's got his back. Again, always in those back lines, making presence noted. The only one to really fight back so far is Starzo with a double. But he needs more of that. Another one waiting in heaven. That's going to be Ethan.
Left.
And bear in mind, Asuna is on short. And there it is. Clean from Ethan. Very calm at the end. They got a little nervous, but well handled.
I'm not sure what the decision-making is there to come ahead of the Cosmic Divide, because hiko's effectively gifted 2 kills on the way in there. And like I said, it created a pocket for them potentially. I mean, we've seen a very, very similar execution before from Ascend onto a site. I think actually both attempts come through to try and trade out that player on site, but it just seemed so bizarre to see that happen at the time it did. Again, doesn't even need line of sight to find the headshot.
No, he's having a game. But 5-5. Maybe a little bit of a weird choice from Ascend there that cost them, or maybe just set up hiko for an easier round that time. However, we go right back in. Again, Ascend. It must be so frustrating. You get so much potential mid-control. You get so much chance to maybe punish this. But instantly, it's considered. You can already see that rotation towards the top side. That's hiko now checking right back on in. Nothing's for free here. It's now noting a fair few, considering that mid-piece. Ethan on the other side of Market. And Starzo trying to explore a little.
Okay, well. One way Asuna will actually find Bone Cold as well. Seeker's invested here. And hiko find another headshot as well.
Hiko's rolling back the years, man. This is something to watch. Maybe the reaction these days could be a little more human. I'm not too sure. We'll have to call up Anders and find out if it passes the test still. But at this point, it's great to see this man's performance really finding big form. Acend hasn't had a big game. And this is going to be a tough one to crack
30
here.
seconds left.
Still just going to play time. He's got plenty of utility to fall away to if he needs to. There it is. Now aware, here comes that crunch down middle. Good punish towards hiko, but now there's further afield, just in the periphery. He's got so many problems, yeah, and on the other side he's barely alive. Ethan's hunting him down. That's rifle gone. And just checking that crouch key works. What are your thoughts on that moment there?
Always got to make sure. You never wanted to... Okay.
Silence. Silence.
First tap was actually disgusting on the sea.
It's so good.
Have again, last round. Senior with a Blade Storm, so we a judge there, but Spectre, only 2 rifles available. Starzo one off the res. See if Ascend can get anything done here. Looking like the first time actually is going to be a very quick piece.
Get out of my way.
Senior actually misses the jump up as well. It's not a pretty start. Steel will be called upon, and again, lots of utility in place to bail him out if necessary. And Hunter Fury from distance actually popped. I think that was 2 tagged on the first. There's no follow-up though, just damage.
Yeah, Zenith's going to take the space on the site, though. He wants to try and make some sort of safer passage, but Nitro's still going to be dipping through, maybe having a little look from heaven. Does pick up one. Steel's found Bone Cold. This is looking problematic as we're down to Zenith, Zeke, Keyless. Zeke's doing well, but they still need to get control of this. Ethan, is he aware of Zeke's position? No, now he is, though, as his head gets ripped off.
Spike.
How does Nitro play this, though? This man, he wants to get aggressive. Zeke might have just felt that pressure, maybe starting to consider it. Oh, Zeke! Huge shot to close out that half there.
We'll tie things up 6 apiece. Again, after Cena gifted sight basically for free. Happy to sit back and allow that to happen, but the response, brilliant from Ascend, actually just playing numbers. It's back and forth the entirety of that round. Again, I think Ethan just misses line of sight there with the Trailblazer.
Oh, Zeke. Lovely to see. And a couple of the people I want to see is the analyst desk. So we head right back down there so they can give us a quick update on their thoughts in that first half.
Thank you very much, Pansy. Zeke coming up big in that final round of the half to even it up at 6-6. But we asked for a close series, and so far the teams are delivering on just that. And given the closeness of the map so far, I'm just going to throw the question out to the both of you, and I'll start on this side. Which side has impressed you more?
Yeah, it feels like the closest of the series. I'm looking at the scoreline. I'm like, well, and the game. I'm seeing 100 Thieves do so much better in my mind. I feel like they're in control of the game. But then I look at the scoreline, and I'm just confused because Ascend still is clapping back at every single moment. It feels really strong for them.
Yeah, I think I would have to go with Ascend as being the side that's impressed me the most, just because I didn't expect the scoreline to be as even as it has been so far. I think what Ascend have been doing really well is when they've been stacking up, because on rounds where you see 100 Thieves with their excellent star placement in the entrances to the site, Ascend really struggle to push through. But when that isn't the case, Ascend getting through into the site, they usually have a decent time of it.
I do think that there have been a little bit of miscommunication or some ideas that aren't working out. For example, that astral divide where it's meant to plant the spike and then they push through instead. I was wondering, scratching my head, but again, they still almost grabbed that round. So in the scrappiness of it all, they're doing very well.
Now, as we dive into some highlights, I'm going to return back to you, Gio, because you were the one who called out while we were watching this first half play out that 400 Thieves Ethan has been a top performer specifically on this map.
Yeah, every time that 100 Thieves have come to Ascend so far at Masters Berlin, it's always been Ethan who's turned out at the top. Currently, it's actually Nitro, so Ethan's not at the top. 400 Thieves. We're having a little bit of a change up with these players right now, but I think he's second on the team right now.
So you would think maybe that bodes well, right? Somebody else is stepping up alongside.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, of course, you turn your attention over to Ascend, and CNED is always top of mind. 260 ACS, finding some of those shots to keep it close. Bala, second half, is CNED going to be the one to push him over the edge?
Yeah, I think he could for sure. I think he's the guy who's going to definitely have those highlight moments, but I'm still looking at Bone Cold to have a big impact.
All right, the teams are swapping sides. We're taking a break so we can watch this matchup play out, and Pansy and Hypoc are taking the call.
Yeah, let's get right back into this. No holding back. Let's just dive right into the action. 6-6 on the half now. I guess Ascend did pick up the pistol, converted the second, and obviously on that third swing over, it did seem to go more favorably for 100 Thieves. But hey, pistol rounds can go either way, so let's see how this one unfolds. It could not be closer here.
Initial flash in, not going to find anything by Ethan there. And Steel sets up towards Tiles again, turret outside. Wary of any push, but an interesting setup here from Ascend. Looks like they're actually going to force their way through. As 3, they're going to walk out mid.
Walking mid, I love that, and I like that shot even more from Bone Cold. That man and pistols, remember what he used to do with the Sheriff. A bit of a wake-up call for Asuna there. Gonna have to be a little bit more on notice with that. Now, what do they do off the back of it, though?
Ascend actually just, they will reset. Bone Cold actually drifts across to pick up that heal. Steel's still the only one of 100 Thieves that's over towards B now. And as 3, they walk back in, but Ascend now have 3 players committed. They've CNED in position to hold on. Let's keep mid clear. It's interesting. Expect Steel now to try and take contact. He does just that, and it does pull the rotation immediately here. 100 Thieves going to find themselves an open A site.
Ooh, Starzo instantly got that audio cue. So, whoa, that's not what's happening. I can see one crossing in front of me. Ethan's on the site. The spike's been buried through. Starzo's got to be careful. Did a good bit of chip damage on the way, but given a lot more space. Steel denies 2 peaks as well. Starzo and Zeke go down. Nitro's right there. And now Sened and Killez desperately trying to hold on to this. What can you do with it? Sened's now been found as Killez. A 1v3, but look at the HP. It is low, but it doesn't matter. Nitro's got it. 100 Thieves get right on the board.
And I think this is something that leads into what Bola was talking about, right? And I was talking about 100 Thieves doing everything right in the early round of the defense, being proactive, they're gathering that information and making, very calculated decisions on the back of it, right? So from a macro standpoint, 100 Thieves did perfectly in the first half, but Acend able to thrive in that kind of unorthodox, fast and loose, late sight hits coming through on the, the 30-second kind of deathmatch executions onto sites. This here is a perfect example of I guess, the fundamental difference there. Right away, Steel is there the entire round. He gets no contact other than that initial peek. He comes through, he finds contact, and he pulls the entire rotation. It's just one player left on A side. Bone Cold.
Told you.
Again, give him a sheriff, and every so often.
Little spark appears, doesn't it? This guy's good. Finding Ethan, big pickup for them. They'll be happy with that. Ethan, wonderful at instigating these rounds, setting plays into motion. Now without that Sky, they've still got hiko. They'll be just fine. They've got everything they need. They start working towards A, sitting deep towards the back of the site. Will be Bone Cold again. No one that nearby. I guess Zeke can swing him from short, but I think Bone Cold now starting to feel the pressure. Yeah, there it is. Bit of a read, but already Asuna's on the site. Bone Cold noted, needs a pixel out of place, couldn't quite collect on that. He still finds him. Tina can't find it either. This is now looking not so ideal as the weaponry's pretty light. It may not be pretty, but it's a frag nonetheless as Starzo and Killez, a classic, and well, a Marshall.
And whether or not they can find any more damage done. Actually, Hiko down to 49 HP, so that will be the first one, if any, but this is Starzo will fall immediately. Now it's left to Killez. Try and do something, and nothing will come of it. 3 survive for 100 Thieves. A good opportunity here to force their way through. Again, Asuna not onto Bladestorm just yet, but a decent buffer at least.
Zeke bringing out the big gun, but yeah, coming in with the timeout. Interesting. This early as well. That's a very early one, considering we haven't had rifle rounds really yet.
Exactly, yeah.
This is
what do you take away from those first two?
Yeah, very interesting. Maybe just a mental conversation coming in. Maybe we'll chat through what to expect potentially coming into the buy rounds. Keeping players calm and focused. And on the other side, 100 Thieves just waiting it out.
Again, I mean, coming back to that discussion, you think about Ascend's ability to kind of handle 100 Thieves and being in that kind of much slower pace than what they're definitely used to. I mean, Ascend used to be, one of the most proactive teams we had in EMEA in terms of defensive setups, little set pieces.
Yes.
Again, on the back of CNET, right? It's usually on the back of him. But again, this event, I think he's been sitting much deeper. Has been, particularly on their defensive performances, it's not really been this kind of aggressive mid pieces, aggressively taking that territory in the early round and capitalizing it.
Yeah, and if they still feel he's doing a good enough job within that, like maybe more refined role, a little bit more passive role, that's perfectly fine. I think anyone who watched CNED coming into this is waiting to see that superstar moment. But again, if you're playing to the tune of what the team needs, if you're playing more in line to that, fair enough. I take nothing away from it. So we'll see if that carries on going forward. It just takes that one round, one map, and we're like, CNED's here. For now, he's still doing just fine, but I mean, the difference is definitely notable. And coming back in, the purchase, as we can see now, with what was remaining, is still with a rifle, nitro, and hiko a little lighter, and less than that is obviously Ethan and Asuna, and on the other side, quite the purchase.
Right here.
She's nearly catching a tag through, but Zeke will respond with the Odin. 100 Thieves waiting for Ascend to show them something. Now, utility's going to roll out. The Owl Drone going to clear up for Asuna here, and the utility gets pinged out. Here with the first, actually, not even sure if it spotted Killez and Bone Cold, but on the back of the Owl Drone, Side B is the call.
Yeah, quick response now needed from Ascend. They need to kind of fall themselves into better positions to deal with this. Losing that mid space pretty quickly as well. Zeke at the back of the site sprays in wildly, hoping for connection here. I think he's finding a fair bit. Look at Steel. Look at Nitro. The walking wounded make it towards the site, but that's a big pickup. Shut down from Ascend. 4 quick kills back to back, leaving hiko in the undesirable job of trying to do what he can with so little in hand, and shut down in the end by Starzo. What a round after that very quick fallback towards the deep side of sight.
And actually, it's key there. You saw Starzo just avoid dealing with the recon bolt, and I think that makes 100 Thieves think that it's only Zeke on site. As soon as they hear the Odin start ringing out, you can see here. I think actually he did deal with it. I thought he hid from it actually, so that's interesting. They were just unable to trade that. The spacing's slightly off there from 100 Thieves, and Starzo goes huge, finds 4 on the round, and shuts that down. Again, minimal investments, just something to kind of pad out those SMGs. And he will have all-out purchases. Steel actually on the operator here, so going to be lurking with that just outside B lobby here. And got his turret to back him up.
Oh, CNED's going to be not happy with that. Nitro just big denial in towards middle, and it looked a little lazy from CNED on that peak there. Maybe just not expecting that angle to come out. It just didn't seem even a fight.
Slightly ahead of the owl drone as well.
Yeah.
Zeke was obviously pushing out to find it.
You've seen the leg as well, the spray. Really good connection towards Killers. Doesn't it?
Oh my god!
Oh, that's 1, that's 2! Good trade from hiko. That could have been a disaster in the making, but it's not just yet. Zeke and Starzo still stand, but 100 Thieves have the player numbers now. Res comes out. They're back up to 3v3 here. But now they know where that res came from. Spike goes in, they can get this post plant situated. Nothing in heaven either. Big confirmation there.
No, hiko going to tuck himself into wine. He's got the Hunter's Fury. Seeker's available for Ethan as well, if things get a little scary for them. But a straight 3v3. Ascend need to find something on the way in here.
This is where it starts. Quick pop flash. Seekers. Ooh, taking the time, but there they go. Ethan going to work off the back of it as well, looking towards short, but it's the 2 towards heaven he's going to be worried about. Going to tuck himself in towards the site, but there's a player just walking that smoke, and it's going to be Zeke. Does do well, but now hiko and Nitro playing this out, and you're so right, the time has just dwindled away from them. Nitro puts his life on the line, that's just fine. CNED just about makes it out of there with his life, but the round will be 100 Thieves.
Yeah, just so much time eating up on the way back in there. I think Ascend so hesitant to find something. You can see there exactly what I was talking about. The owl drone actually on the right side coming out on the wall, and seen it kind of drifting a little bit. I'm not sure if the plan was him to fully push with it, but no information found off it, and was just trying to creep out. There will be repurchase coming back through from Ascend, but it's 750 credits left overall. So they will be tapped out if this one doesn't go in their favor. And actually already Starzo on a frenzy. It's not the most comfortable of purchases, that's for sure.
How did that just happen? Ethan finding Killers? Okay. Okay. Big trade for CNED. That's at least an answer back, and they can get proactive and maybe recover a rifle. Do something to get themselves a little bit more favor on this, because they're struggling here, and Nitro is pinned in mid. Big opportunity now. On the other side, Bone Cold just trying to play that timing right, but Nitro's 50 HP. But while this happens, look at the rest of the side just swarming towards the side here. Nitro is keeping so much attention, buying so much time. 4 players trying to deal with him. It's just Nitro on his own. Finally gets caught off, but that's huge information and a huge tag. hiko from downtown just finds Starzo. And the post plants are so well established, so deep in the site now. Look at CNED, Bone Cold, and Zeke. They've got such a long way to go back in here.
There's no way they double clear this. Ethan and Asuna have a disgusting setup here just outside window. CNED actually going to try and drift past it, but they have to be aware of the possibility. CNED actually comes through. He finds the first. Ethan didn't respond. No way, CNED.
There he is. That's the magic you needed to come through, but hiko still stands. And if he stands, there's a chance, but not right now. Bone Cold comes in. Ethan caught sleeping. CNED, where did that just come from?
I don't understand what just happened there. CNED seemingly comes up, gets the better of the first challenge, and then
the second,
he's in mid-air, spinning around with a Phantom and kills Ethan. I love this play from hiko though, but look at this.
Oh, even CNED's like, what is going on? He's just snapping his wrist to get around to that.
What the hell was that? The setup was perfect from 100 Thieves as well.
Yeah, the theory. How many times though have we talked about 100 Thieves and been like, look, the theory's always there. The theory
The
is so
scrappy rounds,
good.
the unorthodox rounds.
Yep.
And Ascend squeeze that one through.
Oh, what a round to do it as well. 8-9 on the board. That would be such a different story. But now the game's just getting closer. 8-9, the weaponry far more favorable, of course, here towards Ascend. Just classics on one Sheriff, that's about it. But again, for Ascend, you want to keep this clean. Let's talk through the protocols here. Keeping those weapons up, not losing out, build up those ults, try and get that ult economy looking healthy too.
Asuna will pop a Blade Storm, they will clear Wine. Looks like they're going to try and force their way through, actually. The Aldron should lead the way for Asuna to dash onto site. Actually, one confirmation here. No man's just yet, though.
Okay, the classic does, but it's Zeke still just spamming away on this scene, Ed. There's the impact, there it is. That's all we want, little confidence boosters here and there, and you might start seeing the beast come alive. And now we're tied up, 9-9 apiece. 100 Thieves now getting the Ascend treatment, right? This is the weird and quirky, weird rounds. How is it happening? No one knows.
That you learn nothing from as well.
Absolutely.
You learn
Well, you take it away.
absolutely nothing from
Imagine
these.
attack timeout after that, you're like, right.
What do
so
we do differently then, guys?
the setup was good, but CNED somehow flew over my head and I just couldn't kill him.
It'll be interesting to see if 100 Thieves try and slow things down now. Be a bit more methodical. I mean, it doesn't look that way because everyone's stacked up outside B lobby right now. But
Now,
a flash, nothing found.
Steel versus CNED is a really interesting concept of Oppas coming out. But CNED has fallen away to a slightly deeper angle. He was posted up a little closer towards this initially.
I was going to say, I think they're going to stack up behind this lockdown. Zeke with the Hunter's Fury, he's a little bit away, he's actually. Still catch it though.
Yep. Should be taken down. There it is. They still need to get going, though. They've created a small passage of access, but look at what they've got to drop down into. They better get the timing just right because they're being brutalized here. Look at this. Keyless on the back of the side just softens them up. Finds one, finds two. The turret is in action. It ain't even Tommy, it's Killez. As Hiko and Steel, so little progress here.
Look at where the spike is now, Lauren. It's unretrievable. CNED will find Steel. Hiko left in a 1v5, and again, I'm not a gambling man, but I definitely wouldn't fancy his odds here. CNED will stamp it out. It's a Prime Gaming flawless, and Ascend hit double digits.
We aren't in the room anymore, but I can hear it starting to heat up out there. I can hear it. We've seen Ascend. Their celebrations, even in their losses, have been relatively interesting. But I mean, now they're starting to pick up these rounds, find that momentum. And this from Killers is lovely. The pressure that he was under so quickly as well. That utility forcing the dash towards the side too. Cena just to close out the very end. They just stop Hiko from finding any of that clutch potential.
I'd love to know actually if that utility was invested after the Cosmic Divide comes through, whether or not Bone Cold actually gets that gravity well down, because that was sick.
It was.
It forced Asuna to make a desperation dash
yeah.
onto site, right? And then at that point, yes, Keyless comes up huge, but
it was all set up already.
Yeah.
Everything that led to that moment made it seem very favorable to him. He was given every chance possible. And now coming in here, you can see Josh there, Steel, having a chat through the boys, maybe just keeping a couple of considerations in mind.
And this man, CNED, he's come alive in the second half. We're seeing him find his groove, and that is a terrifying prospect.
Yep. And look, I don't think it's a secret that we both love watching him play when he's on an absolute tear. I think everyone does who's just a fan of Valorant. So it's like, if we start getting dashes of that, game changes. But 10-9, it's still close. But the thing is, the money here, they can't get much, right? You're buying down to a safe amount because you want to get that purchase in the following round, but then you've really got very little room for error.
It's at this point where the economy becomes very delicate. So that's why we see only a Guardian in terms of weaponry, but pistols elsewhere for 100 Thieves.
Here.
Seen it actually. A little bit of an adjustment again. Keyless has been the one to hold down, but now with the momentum for Ascend, expect him to just be rotating, peeking somewhere different every single round. Again, that Aldrome will actually confirm it's only one outside.
He's going to commit to this. It's a good read because they know pressure's going to come in off short as well.
Exactly.
Very nice read to post up on that. He hit the shot, he looks silly, but jeez. Nitro just about getting away with his life there, 8 HP. But look at what they've got to work with. It's few and far between. It's little odds and ends, and Ascend make it to 11 flawlessly as well.
Out of charges.
Now everything rides on this purchase here.
This is what the timeout was for.
Yeah. Ascend on the brink of reaching map point here on Ascent. Let's see here. And again, the Aldron just confirming this straight away. He knows he can push through, again, take a 1v1, but that's the confidence factor, right, for CNED. And they know. They've got 2 players in position to basically greet the other half of this split. Let's see what these can get done now. Again, CNED over towards A main. Again, probably going to trade out the Trailblazer and the Aldrome once again, but I don't think this time was 3. They're going to try and explore mid a little bit for the first time, actually. Still on one of their buy rounds.
Oh, CNED's exploring very deep here. He's just carrying on.
This is massive, though. They can lean away from
How
A
far does
entirely.
Ethan check this? I mean, that could have been still far deeper. CNED finds it on Ethan. That's a big, big frag. And now on the other side of the map, they've still got so much more to kind of work through. Asuna is just going to walk on in. Okay, Starzo having to respect this a little, fall back towards the side. The chip damage is coming through, but the run-in from Asuna has been caught off. Starzo's fallen for none of it. And the follow-up, good trade for Nitro, a little late, but a little late in the day, but now this problem's Bone Cold. He's on his own, he's got 2 players coming his way, steals there, jumps in, life on the line for Bone Cold. He's buying time and he's getting frags while he's doing it. Hiko can't make it happen, and CNED, out of nowhere, is finding the form that terrifies most.
He just came flying in with the operator there to find the trade.
That's the CNED we want to be seeing, though. There's that fire, there's that spark that's been missing up until this point.
That was absolutely insane. Again, Bone Cold just, no, I think hearing that operator, he's like, okay, I'm going to post. I'm going to make sure. What is that? What is that?
Yeah, give it a
that
smile.
Yeah.
Give it a smile.
Oh my word.
Fine.
Ascend on map point here, Lauren. 100 Thieves have to find an answer now to keep this possible. Exactly, yeah. Again, look at the purchase though. 2 SMGs. Guardian in the hands of Steel. Hunter Fury and Seekers available. And potential for Asuna to get the Blade Storm online. But again, on the side of Ascend, we've got some ultimates available as well. Now again, CNED posts up. Ascend can lean away. Can actually be in position to greet this mid push as well. A little bit of a fake actually with Asuna's smoke. Shock Dart doesn't even clear the utility of killers either, so this is interesting here. 100 Thieves actually freezing, waiting for Ascend to give something away. No turret here either.
That was dealt with. CNED does get the contact, but not much more of it. Seeker's coming through. And that's all the way over towards A. So that's a big misdirection. Starzo not going to hit that rotation. He's got he knows where people are. He doesn't need to hit that rotation just yet. Starzo can still play behind this wall. None of those early gambits that 100 Thieves were looking for have really paid off yet. There's the clear and there's the kill. Nitro goes down and has problems. 20 seconds.
Stall.
They are running out of time here for 100 Thieves. Asuna has to make a play, make something happen. But it's Killers with the double, the triple for Killers. And CNED shuts it down. A Prime Gaming flawless to close out map 1. We have finally seen it all line up in the end there. For Ascend, they have been hot and cold. It's not been a secret. CNED
has been one I think that suits those creative teams the most when it comes to Masters.
One other agent note to add on top of those 2 that you just mentioned is whether we see Nitro move from Omen to Astra, right? Because he did it on Ascent and he was phenomenal. He was so good, he was even taking fights to the very key players like CNED, even on attack, which was very impressive to see, staying alive and being able to actually contribute to his team still.
It would be a big move because as you can see there, 100% play rate on the Omen up to this point on Haven, but a number of the surprises and agent select throughout this tournament have been Omen swapping over to Astra.
Well, I just want to point out as well, these statistics are from this tournament, but of all time, he has only played Omen on this map. So this...
Even more so.
Yes, so it would be a big deal, and he's going to do it!
Actually, we got it on the other side as well.
Yeah. That was that a switch? Let me check.
Yeah,
my
Bone
notes
Cold
real quick.
last played Omen on Haven, and so also making the swap, and we will stick with the Phoenix. So Zeke still believing in that pick.
one thing to note here is Keyless going Cypher is because they know that it's a guaranteed Sova from the other side. Meanwhile, there's no ult, or there's nothing to counter Steel's pick of KJ right there with the lockdown.
All right, we'll see. Some change-ups that maybe we didn't expect. Gotta wonder if Pansy and Hypoc did themselves as we toss it back up for them to get us into map 2, Haven.
Well, I think it caught our attention, but I think confidence was the name of the game when we were talking about map 2 initially, considering how we've got to this point, right?
Yeah, I think it's just coming back to that comment of Ascend coming away from that Vision Striker's performance feeling rattled. Now, again, coming into this map 1 has got to be a huge confidence booster. And
Massively.
the manner in which they were winning those rounds is what I'm talking about. Again, these set pieces, yeah, it's great to rely on them, but when you're able to just pop off and turn things from a 2v4, but speaking of popping off, very quick start here on Haven on the pistol round, Lauren.
Yeah, Ascend on the attacking side, and on the defending side, 100 Thieves, and they've just gone straight towards B. It's no hold bars, just quick flashes, deep push as well. They're going to be trying to really make sure they've got some nice control for this in their post plant, and they've taken over that connector from B to A.
Oh, actually, look at this as well. Keyless anticipates it perfectly. The spy cam as well dealt with, but the tripwire, they know that 100 Thieves aren't coming through. I don't think they've noted hiko just yet, so they've got to stay on.
He's waiting for that side contact so he can maybe do something, but he might get past one of them, but there's a second layer to this. Oh no, there isn't! That second layer just peeled away, and now hiko gets absolutely everything he's ever dreamed of. Zeke's in trouble. What? hiko still gets him from the grave!
No way, man.
And they're gonna get that spike defuse. But wow, that was a hectic round.
It was a beautiful adjustment as well. You can see it there. The double push through from Garage and also through from A lobby. But Keyless makes the perfect decision. The tripwires dealt with the spy cam in mids there just to confirm that information coming through. And the adjustment is Ascend, then commit to site, right? Yep. The only problem is hiko has stayed there the entire time unnoted. Because, again, for Ascend to dig a little deeper and actually clear out those areas towards Heaven, you know, all the way into Spawn, it's a lot to ask of them. But again, I think that's ultimately their demise, right?
Trades out on flashes for either side. Ethan still has his in pocket, both used by Starzo. And we're looking at the purchase here. It's got some Shikos. Now, one thing I will say is that one player drew 4 on rotation. So they will be able to get a spike plant and a very quick lean towards that deep side of CT. Steel's going to get a quick kill. Backs away, doesn't want to overstay as well, because he knows there's probably a trade potential there. They're probably stacked up towards it, but a spike plant and a post plant with 2 sheriffs. I mean, it shouldn't be a big threat, especially with Steel doing that sort of thing to CNED. Bone Cold's still alive. I'm not going to write this man off. I've seen stranger things with him, but a clean round. 4 standing for 100 Thieves, spike defuse. They'll be happy with that.
Absolutely, and I'm going to give the defuse over to Ethan once again, and it will actually be his Seekers online already for round 3. Now, again, that's key in terms of a bonus round, these SMGs, and if they want to do kind of a quick pop response in terms of a little bit of contact shown from Ascend, they do have the opportunity to do that. Now, have to see how Ascend want to approach this. Well, they're going to at least set up outside A lobby initially. 100 Thieves this time around. Steel will place again. Sheriff riding through, the Marshal as well on the side of Asuna.
Time to mobilize my pack.
I don't think we're going to see too aggressive here, but a flash ready at least on A long. Just to confirm presence.
Yes, quite a fair amount, but Zeke was, I think, a little in front of it. And wait, they put the Seekers with that?
Yeah, that's bizarre, because actually they lean away from this. Maybe they're just trying to posture and make Ascend think that they're pushing, but the fact that Ascend are creeping through, it's going to completely confirm that that's not happening.
Yeah, it's not really done its intended purpose here. CNED's going to take the side control. There's no one there to challenge. We know that he goes up towards Heaven, but Ethan was with him. He's backed away towards the connector side. 4 of them there now.
Okay.
The spam towards it was perfect. Hiko just gets chunked down at the very start. Spike planted, and this post plant is comfy for now. Going to be tricky to unravel this.
Hiko set up with a recon. Sets up, actually Trailblazer will come through, but nothing achieved on the back of it. See here, if 100 Thieves again, it's right late here, but we'll find the opener.
All trying to set this into motion, but there's still so many players to get past.
What?
Gorgeous shot from Asuna. And now it's Bone Cold and Killers. How has this happened? And now there's problems. Killers is lower HP, still finds Asuna, and Bone Cold appears from Asuna's. Nitro's got him. Killers now, a 1v2. The time is so close, though. They've got it! They've actually pulled off that retake! The timing of the flash and the dart turns just enough attention to allow for that one kill to come in, and the spiral off the back was perfect, but Ascend be kicking themselves.
I don't know if just as this builds it, again, Starzo caught off with the shorty here.
That's
I think,
a rifle.
Yeah, Asuna getting the upgrade is what turns this so quickly in 100 Thieves' favor. Like I said, so much time was bought up there by hiko waiting for the recon bolt to come back on, or at least sitting there with the lineup and making sure that everybody's in position. But wow, I mean, that post plant completely crumbling there for Ascend.
I mean, the start of that round, it looked terrible, didn't it? I mean, the ult looked a little shaky from Ethan there, but maybe misplaced or didn't quite have the intent it wanted. Now they've done perfectly. You couldn't ask for a better outcome than that, because look at the money on Ascend. It's in pieces. That looked like an absolute gifter. It's not. Now Nitro, trying to play towards that B site. It's just eating flashes. hiko's got his cross. Doesn't want to over-peek this. At least be able to call out a little bit of info off the back of it, allowing Asuna to get around. Steal on the spam. It's all very clean.
Nitro very sharp throughout that round. That'll be 100 Thieves putting their fourth on the board. Ascend back on a purchase. Here with Scene 1 and 4. Again, there'll be some progress towards the Blades. So I don't know if actually could get either of the plants that came through for them, but Asuna as well. Again, a slow first map for him, but at least here a very strong start. As you've seen, it one away from the Bladestorm. But elsewhere, again, the run it back. Seeker's available. And the Neural Theft. We'll see if Ascend opt to invest any of that into this round. Again, they're going to stack up and, I guess, make 100 Thieves consider that there's another fast piece coming through. Trailblazer actually clears all the way through sewers. It's to run it back.
Here. I want to keep that in the back of my mind. Still sticking around. hiko going to just try and catch the cross. Denies at least a little bit more information. That this sets Steel into motion. No, it doesn't! Bone Cold still predicts it, still expects it, still sticks around for it and finds him. Now Ethan, Nitro, and Asuna are in a bad spot for this. Asuna, how much does he know that Keyless could be around this corner? Keyless seems hyper aware that someone's on this sort of approach, so he's posted on this angle. Gonna keep this in check as long as he can. Maybe call for a quick peek from Sewer. Looks like Bone Cold's gonna oblige.
So can they do the same in a 3v5? It looks like they're just gonna opt to do as much damage as possible here. See the other two members, Ethan and Nitro, tucked deep into spawn. Asuna going to be the only one to hold on to A lobby. Now, whether or not Ascend throw anything out here, no, they're all going to come through sewers. Now, that's problematic, though, because it's tight angles here. Asuna could line a couple up.
Yep, that's one. We'll adjust angle. Still be a problem. I'm going to try and keep hold of those weapons. They need them. That's 4. He's going to take another with him. So not bad.
Damage done. And we'll force 2 repurchases on the side. But Ascend get themselves on the board now. Again here, the run it back. The fact that there's absolutely nothing until hiko actually shoots Zeke in the back here. I think Ascend can kind of just lean heavily. They just want to sit A long until something's confirmed on site, or you get that kind of that counter push back down towards the bricks, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, hiko and the Steel, I think, actually, yeah, dealt with very, very quickly. But again, Ascend, they want to show presence in A lobby. Almost forcing 100 Thieves to play a little deeper here, or at least planting that seed. Starting with Nitro actually over here, and set up with a Owl Drone will be sent out. Again, keep your eye on Starzo though. He's gone walking up mid this time around. And Seekers will be invested. Steel confirmed. Asuna unnoted as of yet though, so Starzo got to be careful. There you go. A second Seeker will find him now.
Okay, so information garnered, and another piece as well. Stars will be happy enough with that. You can see the blade did come slicing on through. But Asuna, the timing couldn't have been better. Catches one. Oh, the follow-up is absolutely unthinkable at this point. Doesn't look too ready to back away either. He wants some support.
word.
He gets it. Hiko from us just across the map, finding Starzo. The Bonecold's closed the gap here, but I don't know what he can do with this. Killers still has to do incredibly well. Hiko did consider it. That internal clock just a second away. Killers punishing As, and we're in a 2v3. I'm getting a little nervous here.
20 seconds left as well. Now, Nitro's completely unnoted, though. He should find this one. Should be the freest kill of the game. Spike noted, Bonecold now in a 1v3. Has to try and recover this, but Nitro, again, stays tucked in on sandbags and will completely eliminate that. And you noted it. Hiko's just thinking, actually, Nitro's not seen anything, but he's not exactly been over-peaking or anything.
Could have been someone.
Could have been. Bonecold almost threaded the needle here, but the timing on this here. Second adjustment perfect as well. That's the second time we've seen Hiko pop a perfect reactionary Hunter's Fury just to support a teammate, to build a little bit more damage elsewhere. 100 Thieves looking, well, a lot more composed this time around, I will say, actually, from Ascend.
And there's a timeout.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. I think Ascend haven't had much say in how these rounds are going just yet. We've had a couple of individuals have some influence, sure, but Ascend need to get that a little bit of a grip on this one before it gets to not an unwinnable scoreline. You can always bring it back, but I mean, you don't want to get it to that uncomfortable position, which I think we're starting to veer towards, and I don't think we've seen weakness yet from 100 Thieves. We haven't seen opportunities here for Ascend, and I mean, this map and Ascend, I don't know where I stand on it anymore. I'll
be honest, you look at kind of what's happened here, Ascend desperately trying to assert dominance and kind of force 100 Thieves away from exploring A long. But here they're not gaining anything from it. 100 Thieves, again, the second or third layer to what 100 Thieves want to do within these rounds at least. And thinking back to that retake again, if all else fails, sit back, because that was completely flawless. Yes, a couple of mistakes on the side of Ascend, but again, just coming back to that composure factor after that map 1 performance. Operator now in the hand of Ethan. Starzo going to ride through on a Sheriff here, though. Let's see what he can get done, if anything, here. Rifles for Bonecold, Zeke, and Keylez. Again, insistent on trying to find something from A lobby. Again, noted with the recon bolt. So again, no secret about what Ascend are doing once again. Starzo will be noted on the back of the Trailblazer as well.
Stay down.
Noted and dealt with. Ascend will find the headshot.
Yeah, operating at a player disadvantage now. This gets a little trickier. Nitro just stepping out to get a little bit of maybe an update on if anyone's working on A, and they were. Actually, the KJ ult coming through now.
Very preemptive, actually, and look where the spike is. It's can't even really enter towards B.
I guess it allows Steel to take this position back as well.
Yeah.
If we're talking about just positionally using it to try and regain some territory. What a terrible idea.
Well, the thing is now, again, it gets to 45 seconds. Ascend have to basically re-explore this as they would as soon as the spawn barrier drops. A little bit closer here, though, but look where Nitro's got himself tucked into on Graffiti. Got himself a little one-way to work around as well. Hiko actually looking as if he's going to take first contact. Cosmic Divide will cross. Hiko got to be careful here. Zeke actually hard clears that, but the trades are in favor of Ascend.
Yeah, and Cena starting to come alive a little. Ethan and Steel, I don't know how you're going to stop this 22 seconds. Spike's going down. Do they have anything for this? Both flashes with Ethan and a little lax from Bonecold, just kind of stepping on out, and now there's starting to be some problems. Steel turns that flash. He now knows someone's been caught by it. Knows him towards hell, but there's Cned. Where the buck stops here, Ethan with a quick flash finds him! Completely blind! I thought he was going to line up, but Killers, safe pair of hands at the end there.
An awkward half second there where you don't see the repeak come back on once Cned gets flashed, but comes down to one man standing. And Ascend will close that one out. Hiko still, I mean, finding Zeke is nothing short of a miracle in that scenario with all that pressure coming through. Keylez will hold the line, secure that round, and it's a second on the board for Ascend. See again, Finance is very comfortable for 100 Thieves here. Again, with only one surviving on the side of Ascend. A little bit more delicate.
Oh, we haven't seen a C-lean particularly yet. Nitro's on the other side of it, and it's Cned starting to step up. Close by will be Ethan. This is where he's going to start exploring this. Gets instant information and a quick exchange of utility. This looks like the side hit's now being considered. The spray could have actually been so much more than it was. It does catch Cned, but again, Bogdan's law doesn't apply so much anymore, as he does get a heal, so he's back up to 100 at least. Bit of a glass cannon, but he should be A-okay. But Bone Cold's progress is pretty big, actually. Quite deep towards this now. Going to get at least a squad towards backside. Asuna, a quick shot. And now waiting on the cross is going to be Ethan. Going to get one. That's not bad, but the trades are effective. But it's Nitro, again, the backline hero here. Sprays in well, but it's Killers. That safe pair of hands from that prior round. 1v2. Now he's going to get the information, but already you're seeing that work coming out from hiko. Oh, it's perfect work from hiko.
Of course it is.
Exactly what you want to be seeing from him. And finding a bit more space now for 100 Thieves and Ascend. It looked like that was the one. That could have been another round on the board, but it just gets ripped away.
I don't think so. That execution was so weird. Like, the
It felt
timing
like
on the smokes, there was nothing smoked off there. Almost like Ascend are like, yeah, they know we're here. It's confirmed we're here. Let's try and run it down. And right there, I mean, they stack up. They try and play, trades on the way in, but they find two. But like I said, with Asuna and an operator on board, he can still just dip in ahead of that execute coming through, finds a kill, and right there, it's like, okay, there's still 3 or 4 angles to worry about.
Well, it looks like Ascend are just absolutely pouring through towards A. Hiko back of sight, kind of knows what to expect now. Actually going to avoid being pulled in towards this one. Ascend do start taking the space. Nitro, that's not as clean as you want. He does adjust okay towards CNED in the end. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Hiko's still alive, Steel still around. There it is. Shut down, clean enough. Yep, you lose Nitro, you'll take that. That's fine. 4 stand. 100 Thieves starting to spread the wings in this. They're starting to feel a little bit more, not necessarily confident even, but just, I guess, confirmation in what they're doing is correct.
Absolutely, and it's around like that where you think, actually, Ascend now relying on the work I think they feel they've done in the buy rounds or the other, the regulation rounds where it's, there's no way they're going to challenge us here. We should be able to get up onto A site, but what's on the other side of it? There's 3 people now for 100 Thieves ready to anticipate that exact move. Back on a full purchase here. He's able to run it back, so again, whether or not he's going to send that out as a feeler. Looks like he's going to pop it outside garage here and try and run through. And this time, 2 players on the other side of it. Trailblazer in support, CNED as well to follow through.
Oh, CNED just got Nitro, and there's no chance for Ethan. He was just flash in hand caught off. Great approach from Zeke and CNED. This is the power 1-2 combo that can be a game changer, but we haven't seen much opportunity for it yet. But this is a round that I feel has been crafted by ults and individuals. It's hard to replicate in the more regular rounds. Asuna and hiko, last 2 standing. There's a lot of presence all around them. Flash goes a little deeper. Killer still just sprays in, gets Asuna as hiko gets caught as he tries to support. Prime Gaming flawless, but still hard to find that success again in the same format.
I think you're right to repeat that over a number of rounds, and it's. I'll be honest. Now that we've seen this kind of pace change, but previously on that eco round here on the back of.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Stay down.
Yeah, sure. I dare you to find that opener every single round, CNED.
I mean, don't give him a challenge.
I'm not saying I don't want to see it.
We'll take it, but okay. 3-7.
Still a big buffer financially for 100
There
Thieves though
is.
as well. They can effectively buy out this half.
Ooh, careful now. Yeah, CNED is starting to punish. He does get the opener, but that was an aggressive lean down middle. That got caught up and it got caught out. Ethan now, 2 rounds in a row. A little unlucky, a little unfortunate, but it's all good for CNED. If you're going to give an opportunity, he'll take it with both hands. Now sit back and watch. Seekers come in. Looks like Ascend are looking towards that B side now. Going to commit a little deeper. Of course, 100 Thieves have to respect that. They have to sit a little deeper on this themselves. Sit at the backside of those connectors. You're seeing Asuna on the other side of the smoke here to Zeke, who gets tagged up. But CNED walks on forward. CNED is just turning it on. This is the man you want to see come alive for the side. Starzo going to claim one towards Steel. His Bone Cold to close. And suddenly, Ascend are waking up. And we've said this, the difference makers. When it happens, it looks like there would never be a world where it couldn't happen, where it seems like it's par for the course, like this is normal. It's not. This is just CNED doing CNED things.
And this is the thing. They must turn around and go, well, guys, conditioning is not working. The macro's not swinging in our way. Guys, let's play it fast and loose. Let's see what we can get done. And these rounds, Ascend look absolutely deadly. Absolutely deadly. But you think, where was this in the first 7 or 8 rounds? Like, what
where was it in the first half of the first map?
Exactly. What was the game plan for you? Then go, okay, we're tilted now. Let's run it down.
Here we go. Speaking of a tilter, that could be frustrating, but CNED still alive. It's Zeke who's going to have his life taken away. Ethan's going to take that space, going to push himself deeper up towards A-long. CNED has a little bit of a glance, but doesn't see what he wanted. Spraying in, he's got to know Ethan's close, and Ethan's got to get out of there now.
And here as 4. Bonecall will re-explore mid. Still, actually, again, C-site completely open. We're only really seen that 1 or 2 rounds where Ascend have opted for that initially. Bonecall gets pretty close, but there's 2 players here in A-Link. Ethan just tucked in. We'll find that, and 3 now. Members of Ascend. Looks like the Aldron, I think, just confirmed it. Yeah, you've seen Ethan already rotate in.
But
it's hiko. Has to dip away from this, actually. Yeah, okay. So they're going to give up the site for now. Spike is en route. It's on the way. Spark comes down. 2 players working from... looks like Sewer and potentially Long as well. Steel's on the way over.
Look at Sewers, though. Just on the left side of the screen here. Asuna coming up with the Blade Storm. He's going to find the back of CNED.
Just ahead of the timing they predicted. Asuna now with the punish on 1. Looks for the follow-up. It's not going to be him. It's going to be Ethan! Shut down! Ascend gets sent back in the final shot of things. After just a burst of confidence out of nowhere, it's going to be 8-4. And that was a Prime Gaming flawless. And they're really making sure that those bodies aren't getting back up.
No, you definitely want anyway to, especially ahead of the half switch.
Of course.
Last thing you want. But again, here it's unfortunate that. Again, the thing is right. Ascend have been trying to plant these seeds. It's like, guys, we all fight to the death for A lobby. It's fine. Perfect response, right? Send a Hunter's Fury in there. If you're going to have 2 or 3 people just charging it down towards sewers, the best way to slow it down.
So much to be said about that first half, and I hear our thoughts. Let's hear the desks.
Thank you very much, Pansy. It's Ascend's map choice, but it's 100 Thieves who are looking and feeling good after the first half. 8-4 defensively.
I think we expected definitely a weaker start here from Ascend. I mean, after that first game, maybe not, but what we saw so far in this tournament was a weaker Haven, and I believe that's what we just saw.
Yeah, one of the things that we were discussing, of course, was how does this compare to the way that they played against Vision Strikers, or at least the scoreline that we were left with at the half. And it was exactly the same.
Uh-oh. Oh, well, we know how that ended. So, again, if you're in the 100 Thieves camps, it's going to instill you with a bit of confidence. And for Ascend, they're going to have to find something different than what they found the last time around from Vision Strikers as they move to the defensive half. But this man on your screen right here, Asuna, picking up in a big way.
I think this is a complete difference from Ascend. I think Asuna still had an impact on that map with his operator. He was actually giving space for his team to find the extremities like Sean was taking in that breakdown. But here, he's actually in the thick of it. He's getting the frags, getting the op up, and taking those fights to the very important people. He's winning out the fights against CNED, winning out the fights against Bone Cold as well, taking him out early, like I talked about in the last game, and then, of course, being so aggressive with his knives.
Yeah, he's being incredibly assertive. He is making the effort to move forward and actually enter into that space. And it's funny because I heard on the stage, just as they were going into that map, Asuna say to the rest of the team, something with some naughty words in it, but it was followed by, I promise I'll get more than 8 kills this round.
Well, he's already done that. He's already done that. He's already up to 13, and we saw him picking him up with every single gun that you can imagine. It was the Shorty, it was the Phantom, it was the Vandal, it's the Op, it's the Knives itself, and closing it out there with a nice flank against CNED. And so, again, stepping up on the Jet in just the same way that CNED has so far in this series. And I think while we will look for CNED to continue to perform, I wonder who else on the side of Ascend needs to in the second half if they want to make it close.
I think Zeke has to be that guy with the Phoenix. That's pretty much it.
All right, well, there you have it. Our eyes are on Zeke. He's going for that Phoenix pick. He's got to make it worth it. Pansy and Hypoc, back to you.
Yeah, I'm actually in some decent amount of agreement. In comparison to the impact we've seen some Phoenixes have in this, it was, you know, a little quieter in comparison, but there's still time for that. But 4-8, we are jumping right back into things. This is the quarterfinals going on. A semi-final spot on the line for this. Now, map 1 did go to Ascend. Let's see how this goes, because 100 Thieves are coming out swinging already. 2 big kills, make it 3. Asuna going to get things kicked off perfectly. Yes, CNED does get a passing gift, but they're going to need a lot more. What? Killers is finding more. How is this a 1v2? And CNED has closed the gap. Red predicted by hiko. He can't deal with it. 100 Thieves powering forward now.
Actually, Des just touching on the scoreline last time. Ascend did actually post the pistol and round 2. So already now working at a harder deficit already I mean, we were just talking about this before we started Haven. Ascend love to be proactive, and it always starts with a pistol round. Again, asserting that dominance. Those are the characteristics we usually see from them. And right there, shut down. Do we see Ascend slip back into their shell here? We see a couple of sheriffs invested, a marshal on the side of CNED. Let's see what they can get done here in round 2.
Okay.
Good start.
That's a great start. That's an even better follow-up. Zeke's punished Steel, but there's still 3 players. Again, so on behind this. The tags are perfect. The 1-2 combo. Sheriff and Marshall, there's a reason the names kind of go well together. There's now hiko and nitro. Pretty left reeling off the back of this. Bit of a surprise round coming out. Now they're both stuck in a corner and have very few options. The flash comes in, Nitro has to respect it, but he will at least punish CNED. Next step forward, Zeke's on the menu, he still comes up with the goods. As hiko presented a 1v4. It ain't happening, Ascend aren't out of it yet, they are still fighting right back into this.
They will keep them honest, respond with a thrifty round victory here. And that flips it back on its head here. Ascend an opportunity now to take control of the second half, or at least build back into this. 4 rounds to find. Again, can they maintain this pace though? That's the real question, Lauren and my lips.
I think he's just telling him, sit down, it's going to be maybe a long game.
Sit down, yeah, it's getting late.
Don't hurt your back.
Yeah.
Maybe
Posture,
have a
posture
stretch.
check.
Yeah, that's nice of them. And obviously now what this means, if you're maybe not so familiar with the economy, it's going to be troubles for 100 Thieves. Their money has been depleted. They're down on, I think, a couple of classics, odds and ends, 1 upgraded pistol and steel. That's about it. So any damage done would be a bonus, but they are up against Spectres and 1 rifle. That 1 rifle is with CNED, so that could be an absolute prized possession if they could pry that away from his cold dead hands. I don't see it happening. Still, that little bit of a springboard maybe through Garage has already been denied. Zeke going to retake that space, and they got to respect it.
They're desperate to find something there, but it's actually going to be Stars, though. Will be called upon. Trade comes through from Nitro. Now, Steel actually
I like this. Look at that spike.
Here.
Timing could be everything on this. CNED will be either a god, or he's going to be in a whole lot of trouble because he's got a player to his left. It's Steel. Okay, still not game over because that's the rifle now recovered. I told you, a prized possession to pull on over. And it's a 2v3. So the rifle with Steel, the Spectre still with Asuna, and hiko with the Marshal.
And he's in a disgusting lurk, Lauren. Potentially
the timing's
going to
gorgeous
catch
for Zeke, isn't it? Hiko's got to have this, just that deeper angle, tucked so well in on it. Oh, no. There it is, that's a tag. He doesn't have to overdo it. Doesn't want to give away that kill. He can be a nuisance in the backlines by that time. And look at it, Hiko knows that. So aware of what he's got to do with this. And it looks like 100 Thieves are going to give him the answer right back. Asuna's found Zeke. They're turning back and forth on this bone cold. What are you going to do? Nothing. 100 Thieves do it right back at him.
They go blow for blow here in the second half already. Back and forth. 3 survive from 100 Thieves here. And again, exactly the same scenario. An opportunity now to punish Ascend even further. And the problem being now, you can't play this game with this scoreline after the first half. This next round is 100 Thieves on 11. That means Ascend get 1 purchase.
1 big buy, and that's it.
That's another posture check.
Look, don't mess with Steel when it comes to banter. He can keep up with like Brits. It's terrifying. He was born and bred in like I-Series. The man's a little lethal.
He's molded by it.
Truly. But we do have the purchase. One of the purchases coming through. CNED has got the knives out, as does Asuna. At least I think he does, actually. It might just be Asuna at this point. There it is. CNED does have it as well. So, okay.
Thanks, observers.
Thank you. See, that's why we love Sapphire, Yeti, and Prius. The absolute god trio. Now, at this point, though, looking at trios, 3 rifles as well. Steel, Nitro, Ethan. Rifles out. An aggressive mid lane Zeke. That's bold. That's brave. He does have a player. Starzo does have a flash still in pocket if needed to maybe set him into motion. 100 Thieves just testing the water throughout. It looks like a C piece is coming into play, but there's 2 players here.
Recon bolt will be sent through. And actually, I think it did. No, it pinged Bone Cold. They're going to find a freebie on the back of that. Keyless cannot respond either.
He's just swarmed right now. This player's surrounding him. Starzo's found Ethan out of nowhere. And now they need some more. Nitro, though. Great catch match from him towards Zeke. Killer still trying to do what he can. And Starzo, he was at the bottom of the board. He's still finding damage, still finding work. And so is hiko. A 1v1 out of nowhere. 6 bullets and a dream. And on the other side, Killers. The front shows and hiko. He's clutching out again for 100 Thieves. This man does not know when he is done.
Now 100 Thieves in the driving seat firmly now. We'll follow up on that previous round, and I think actually Ascend going to be tapped out, and things now we look towards the investment of the Blade Storm. How many did he fight? He actually found 2 while full blind.
Full blind.
That came down, I think Keyless is 50 HP, but Hiko 72 as well.
What are they doing? Don't
Fantastic. Look at it, and it's scrappy. Lauren,
It's
look
real
at it.
scrappy.
Keyless, no armor. Again, 2 other rifles, a Sheriff and a Spectre here on the side of Zeke. They want to hold them on 11. There's 6 rounds to make up here. 100 Thieves looking to pile on the pressure. Ethan will find the opener as well. Again, Keyless, no armor. Will fall immediately.
Hiko feeling the pressure coming through from the A side though. So this is going to be a little bit more. Steel's going to be called over here, maybe just to keep this in check. Make sure there's no good trade coming out. Rifles being taken away. You can see Ascend trying to find that space. And the space is being taken away already. One on the side. Banger of a shot from Bone Cold, but he needs more than that, and Ethan's not going to let it happen. Again, good trades, and the problem is 100 Thieves have more players up right now.
Starzo has to respect this utility coming through. 100 Thieves will actually force their way up long. Cena going to catch that blind though.
Flash.
Starzo can't find that.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Starzo could have really done with that frag coming in time, and he still can't get it. And now Steel's over here. Perfect supporting play. Starzo's read it though, but Steel just swings out on him. And now a 1v3 to try and deny 12. Oh, he's got a Spectre to work with. How does he close the gap on this?
And an Aldrone to deal with.
Oh. And now the steps are heard. The information noted. Flashes aren't going to find anything. They just pile it on. 100 Thieves on 12 now. 1 more round, and we go into map 3.
See really what Ascend can afford here, because again, that's 2 back-to-back again. Don't expect them to try and hold on to anything here, but the purchase there, the plan at least, was to hold 100 Thieves on 11. And yeah, you can see it now, the byproduct of that, just Spectres available. A Guardian in the hands of Zeke. Keylers this time will at least afford some armor. There's a Spectre behind it.
Oh, it ain't pretty, is it?
No. I think as well this response, again, this is kind of to throw out the window what we were talking about in map 1, right? 100 Thieves actually looks so better equipped here to deal with Ascend just getting weird and fruity with some of these rounds. And again, it's very rare you see it go 1 for 1 for 1 in an opener here. And the manner in which it did.
Yeah.
100 Thieves actually happy to play that game with Ascend on Haven.
Absolutely. It was great to see, but I have to bring up that, if I'm not mistaken, Breeze will be the 3rd map.
Now, again, we look at that. My first port of call is Cned. Now, if Cned's having a heater, Breeze can be terrifying, right? Because again, he turns on that kind of self-sufficient jet mode, and again, very similar to what we saw from Ye and Tens, obviously previously on the map so far, but that would be my concern, because he's not had a great performance here on Haven, and we come back to those confidence discussions, right? To walk away from Vision Strikers feeling rattled.
Yep.
This could have the same effect in a series as well.
Yeah.
Which is a completely different dynamic, actually, to think, yeah, the map 2, we were kind of forced back in our shell a little bit. Now we've got to come to map 3 and pull it out of nowhere. They've got to dig deep, Lauren.
Well, 100 Thieves have set the bar here, right? Like, the way they've played has been really a treat to watch, and we were talking about the purchase. It's far from pretty. Ascend having to try to make this happen with whatever's in the, you know, the drawer under the sink, just filled with odds and ends. Bit of duct tapes in there. An Allen key that no one's used in 4 years. But the B site is already being pressured. Space taken. Quick plant 2. Nothing to stop this. Maybe Cned can be the thing to stop it. Just spams away. Buddy, is that you? And now he's going to carry on forward. He still wants to try and close that gap, trying to get in their faces. He's not going to stop anymore. It's absolute mayhem. And Cned is trying to thrive in it. Hiko still stands though, but the defuse is coming in. Wait, the spray! Oh my God, are we really seeing this right now? There's nothing they can do.
Oh my God. The lockdown as well will confirm it.
Oh.
We'll get detained here.
Look at his, he's not even got his hand on the keyboard, and maybe he should. No, he doesn't need it.
There's no way, man. Stop it, Steel.
Get him out of the game. This is unthinkable. He's actually got the defuse. Oh, Josh!
No way, Josh!
What have you done?
What am I watching?
What have you done to us?
Delete the VOD, end the stream. It's time to go home.
Steel. Why?
Not like this.
I should play some Astral Stars in this reality.
Can we get a replay of that real quick?
No,
Can we get a
please.
replay? Let me see it.
I don't want to see it. I'd rather watch the CNED play on Window and Ascent than that again.
Here we go.
Oh, great.
Okay. Real nice. Loving that. Yeah, he's feeling it. Look.
Look,
Yeah, he's loving
hand in
it.
the air.
Yeah.
Imagine losing a round after that.
I couldn't imagine. Would never happen. Oh god, don't you dare come back into this Ascend. That would be. Alright, we keep going. 100 Thieves back into things. Now the buy is slightly better, but not by a long shot. It's still Bone Cold. It's still a decent flash for Stars, but he got no one with that. Now Bone Cold's gone. That's Nitro catching him on maybe another repeat. 100 Thieves going to fall away. They've traded out that initial kill, and they want to explore some other areas, posting up Ethan.
Things will slow down for a moment. Neural theft will be invested here. Again, information confirmed at least. And no adjustment actually on the side of 100 Thieves initially. Steel creeping back towards Window just in case CNED's gone wanders. But he's got the Judge. Blade Storm available, but Ethan actually got to be the one to be careful here. He has the spike as well. Now, if that's noted, it gives away the full intention for 100 Thieves here. Shock Dart sent over just in case there's a tripwire or any utility set up outside B, but no confirmation on the back of that.
Left.
Seen it actually. I don't know if he did spot it, but he will hear him.
Yeah, C should have that. He does. Catching Steel, this should force the hand towards C now. The time will anyway, 18 seconds. Clearing that close box. Ethan's won the fight, but there's Starzo makes his appearance. That's one, that's two. The third, not going to happen. Nitro's got it, but 11 seconds. They're running out of time here. Nitro doesn't have the spike, and behind that smoke, it's CNED. A knife to the throat, and there's another round for Ascend.
I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about the next round.
Yep.
Okay. See here, 100 Thieves should be in a position where they're stretched a little thin. Steel not really achieving anything that low, and I think, again, he sat there the whole time anticipating CNED coming out. Ascend, though, will play a little disciplined here. Now, 100 Thieves will stack up on this purchase again. A Spectre invested, a Guardian, Frenzy, 2 Sheriffs. That might be a quick piece towards A, at least a Nitro going to be invested in a flash through to Sewers to try and get Asuna in.
Thieves, though. Nothing complex about it, but actually CNED still takes a little bit of a glance towards Sewer. Spots Asuna. You can see them now expecting the rest of the Thieves. Punishing Steel. Everything so far pretty standard, pretty okay. The problems now start to begin, though, as the net's been closed. Zeke around the back lines. Maybe they're looking to try and punish this as well. Maybe get that rifle away if they could. Zeke does get caught. Has to invest his utility on the way back. They're putting a lot to try and isolate Zeke off this. Not quite making the push to punish yet.
Swing here. See Bone Cold in position. Try and back up. Zeke. Actually, the flash is perfect. Ethan will find him now. Bone Cold got to play this safe. Kilo's a little disconnected here, but CNED will actually push through, but no real damage done to Nitro there as well. Seekers will be popped, and it will confirm CNED being the only man on A site here. 100 Thieves, yeah, again, you can see they're pinging him out on the mini-map. He's going to slip into long here. This is interesting, Lauren.
I like that. Can try and play the timing, maybe. The last place, they'll check on the push-up. There it is. Ethan does go down to it. CNED expects the push-up, and Killers has his back. They keep building. There's another on the board. So when do we talk about it?
I don't.
10.
No,
10?
I think
10.
I just said last round I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you said, but we'll talk about it next round.
No, I said let's talk about the next round. Which
Right.
was a great round. We watched this
yeah,
back
okay,
against
yeah. What was
the
great
back
about
and
it?
forth exchange here, and you know, Ascend's ability to read where 100 Thieves decide to lean back towards. But come back in now. 100 Thieves going to have an opportunity to get a full purchase. Asuna one away from the blade, so no other ultimates available. to see if Ascend now, again, want to maintain this pace. Want to keep up appearances here as a little bit of damage sent through here. The heal going to have to come through from Ethan very early on. It's a blind camera right there. It's dealt with as soon as the smoke drops as well. Now, Cena got that operator online. You can see now Ascend going to lean away from A entirely. Aldrin will come through. Will probably spot Cena. He will indeed, yeah. Again, Cena not shy about it.
No. While this happens, the C piece is now confirmed. They are very much committing. Asuna on towards the site. It's Cold, who's actually lost his life almost instantly. Killers is trying to keep his head down.
He's unnoted.
They don't know he is here. They have no idea. They've just cleared CT. They're going to be happy with that, Killers. What can you do? A deep flash. It sets you up. It's one. The second, yes, but the third. Hiko could trade, and Hiko out of nowhere finding two. And now it's CNED in a 1v3. The man has been hot and cold, and we need a hot round from CNED here.
Spike planted.
We want this map to continue going, otherwise 100 Thieves get what they need. They open up the chance for a third. Cena takes some damage, and Asuna closes it down. No harm, no foul. The map is won. There was nothing weird, nothing out of ordinary happened there.
No, nothing at all weird and wonderful about that game. Definitely not a wallbang coming through from Sewers onto a B plant.
Never seen it happen.
Thank God they closed that one out.
Data from their finals against Sentinels.
Yeah, there's data from that. There's a couple other maps as well, but two things to note is the flanks on this map is something that you have to have something to cover, so you're going to see a Sentinel for sure. The thing that 100 Thieves loves to do, which I think is kind of a nice way to play the meta because of the way that other teams are playing, is they're going double controller, right? So they're playing Viper and an Omen at the same time. We'll see if Nitro actually goes to Astra like the rest of the time that he's doing it, but that's something they do on Icebox as well. So for these wide open maps, it gives them a lot of adaptability on the attack side, which is going to be very good when you're attacking CNED.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the double controller style. I mean, in EMEA, we've seen a lot of duelists be played on this map, but...
not going for it, actually, because Hiko usually is the guy playing Viper on this map.
Okay,
Exactly.
Nitro going on to Jet instead.
What?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of switch-ups
This
here.
is...
Asuna's going to stick with the Reyna, which he has played before.
I just said I prefer double controller to the double duelist, and now we're seeing 100 Thieves bring out the double
Oh,
duelist.
there it is.
Okay.
But no Sentinel, right? So even though, of course they're going to play the Viper, no double controller, but no Sentinel. That's so difficult to play with, especially when you're on a team like Ascend, who is going to be exposing and trying to take these flanks on you.
That was the crazy thing, is I was so in agreement with everything you were saying, and it turned out to all be wrong. No, I completely agree. We've seen 100 Thieves ditch the Sentinel when they play Ascent before, but Breeze is a much bigger space.
Well, it all comes down to this. One final map, and it's Breeze for 100 Thieves and Ascend here in our quarterfinals, and we got Pansy and Hypoc to carry us through it.
One more map, and it's Breeze, Hypoc. We also have Nitro picking up Jet. We've got some mad things going on for this final map here, and this is life on the line, right? This is semifinals await. This is the big time to show up. What is going on?
I don't know. This is something to pull out on a map 3 to see how it plays out. I don't know if this is again necessarily the ace up the sleeve, but Ascend will try and force their way in here. They're actually going to throw a lead and flash behind it as well, so the Thieves will go 2 for 2 here.
Yeah, Nitro's chasing.
Themselves in. Zeke, what?
How did Zeke turn that? That looked like Nitro's all day, but Hiko's not far from this, and neither is Steel. And you're right, the spike now noted. The spam comes out. It does catch Killers. Look at that, 13 HP. Trying to close the back. Oh, Hiko, let's go. What a catch, but it's seen it. A 1v2. Has to respect it. Has to go through the wall as well. Gonna find one. Gets away. It's now on Steel here. And time is on CNED's side this time, but Steel kept going. He kept looking for that fight. And CNED down to 35 HP. Steel a little better off here. Gonna try and deny some angles from him. Steel could do with this one. He doesn't expect the peek again. It's still a miss, but that one isn't. CNED's got it 3 for him. That's a Red Bull clutch for Ascend to pick up the first pistol.
And Steel had a huge opportunity with that wall there to drop it, and effectively CNED would be stuck in no man's land, right? Nothing to fall back to without that dash actually being available after using it on the kill with Hiko. Ascend will go 1 up, and CNED straight on that Phantom. Full armor as well. Bone Cold Starzo, Zeke, and Keyless will throw a Spectre in the mix. A couple of Marshals on the other side. Ethan and Nitro going to upgrade a little bit, but actually, no, reconsidering that. We'll sell it back out. So nothing
Clean.
thrown in here for 100 Thieves.
Yep. About as ecoed out as you're going to get. The other side, similar scenes. They are against 4 players on here, so you've got to be a little careful to not get overwhelmed. Chipped away at. T-Net's going to... Oh, that flash wasn't quite what he wanted. Nitro's going to punish. Can he get that rifle, though? That's the big question to me. He's trying to go for it, but Stark so quickly plays bodyguard on it. Doesn't allow them to get too close. It's a nutty pickup from Asuna, but how much more can you do? Nothing. Bone Cold quickly keeps it in check. Any of these kills coming in of him very hard to find much more from. As Steel might just have to accept the fact they can collect that rifle, put it back to Zeke, maybe give it back out to whomever else in the following up round. There's 3v1, and the spike is very much down and secured.
Yeah, and whether or not Ascend will even give him an again, Keyless actually with a spy cam. I don't know if initially this noted Steel or not, but so I just saw Starzo lean into his cam at the same time. But again, at this point, protect the Phantom, make sure you can carry across majority players into the next round. A good opportunity at the bonus. Good progress already for Acend, Starzo as well towards their ultimates, but no Blade Storm to ride through. But I imagine Zeke's going to be returning that Phantom to his rightful owner. Steel will opt to fall, no surprises there. Well, actually, another ult orb across to Zeke, so kill credit goes across. But Ascend, 2-0.
Big start for Ascend here. After the last map, probably feeling a little shaken. And walking into not necessarily completely unknown territory, but this map definitely has less reps, a lot less comfort. We don't know the full looks from either teams, really. We don't know how they're going to come into this. We've seen, as said, adjustments from Ascend throughout this tournament. Those who've been in touch with this team a fair amount leading up to this have definitely noted a couple of different looks. 100 Thieves as well, breaking out. Nitro looking completely different. Snow as well, want to see how he looks on this. Rifle's out though, and on the other side we have 3 coming through, so it's not a completely easy bonus round to win against. Now this time it's a little different. Same early intent. However, the difference is it's a B lean. Look at that spike. Over towards the B side, it's all but a ruse. Now, Steel has done well. That's a big confirmation for him there that, okay, no, there is actual real intent behind this. Let's hit that rotation. He's even found one on the way in. So they can try and punish that, maybe, but they know there's going to be later players coming through middle, maybe trying to pressure that flank.
Actually, I don't know why Bone Cold swinging back out there with the owl drone of hiko still coming through. I think it actually initially got the tag onto Keyless. Starzo will respond with 2 kills though. That's huge, but he now finds himself in a 1v3, Lauren. 100 Thieves already on the site.
Yeah, with Ethan already sitting on that cross, this one's over. Starzo knows it. He can't close that gap. The plant was not really made for that.
No.
But that post plant was being just chipped away at. Steel finding so much impact in that and a couple of maybe misplaced peaks.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Bone Cold opts to hop back. You can see when we're sat inside the owl zone there that at least the tag comes through. You can see hiko actually pinging up the location of the set. Okay,
oh,
that's how
it gets
right, okay. Well, I thought it was like, oh, maybe Acend's on the cross, but no. Steel just sends a few shots into the poison orb and will be rewarded for it. But, again, no bonus converted. Acend will be able to purchase back into there. And actually, Bone Cold will throw an operator into the hands of Acend. See if he can find an opener here. Hiko got to be careful. The damage done, though.
Yeah, Saint does too. You got to be careful now. Tagged up, Hiko down to a nice amount of HP. And Acend's not necessarily backing away off the initial shot. He's continuing to walk up this. Now, again, look at this lean from 100 Thieves. That's going to be almost 4 players now dedicated towards A. If they even feel this out, it's going to be such a weird round, but does Acend get the feelers right for this? Because they're moving in somewhat blind to this, right? Now, switch utilized, and they have to respect it. Acend does back away. But how on earth? This is such a strange round with such a heavy lean towards A, maybe feeling comfortable on the retakes. Big jump peak from Nitro. He's going to know there's players coming his way, maybe even noting the spike there. But he has to keep moving. He's not going to be able to sit still for a second because Zeke's closed that gap. Now Zeke wants to try and find that space on the site, allow some sort of safety for that spike to get across and maybe get a plant.
That's actually in the thick of things.
Well, flash.
Actually, there you go. We'll come through. Steel will find his 3rd as well. Ethan now close the distance. Acend operator in hand. He's got to consider saving this now.
30 seconds
100
left.
Thieves will give him
Something like that?
Well,
good swing from Ethan.
Miscalculation potentially on the dash there. He couldn't get to a fully safe position, but Ethan will close things out, you're right. Things will be tied up 2 apiece now. You notice at that point, really, Ascend have nothing else, right, to even figure this out. It's got to be Cned to push up and at least spot out 1 or 2 players. But the Owl drone's burnt up. I think actually they were still on the cooldown from the flashes as well. So they have nothing to actually confirm, you know, presence on the side of 100 Thieves. And again, flashes will give you the audio cue, but it's not the same as the Owl drone, right? There's no absolute confirmation of what lies beneath. Ahead, you know, we'll pop the Blade Storm here, and this time big switch up from 100 Thieves. There's 3 players here to defend B site.
They're just absolutely eating it, dude. There's no way out. You're gutted at that one, Ethan. Good spray, steal. Just the clothesline at the end. Very sharp and a lovely adjustment. Good read on that.
Yeah, after a couple of rounds here, and it's only really they're finding Keyless in mid, but again, I think that's a good indicator of exactly what's going on in a couple of these rounds, or at least how the default for Ascend looks. Have to see now. Again, back on a purchase, seen it back on the operator. 3 ultimates available here. On the other side, actually, 100 Thieves have 4 of their own. This time, hiko opted not to cross back and forth between the doors. And it will be confirmed here. Actually, nitro on the operator here.
It's not going to be the first or last time we've seen nitro with a weapon like this, but Cned has far more reps these days. Asuna, though, quickly through. They don't actually get as flashed as maybe they'd imagined. And the quick pop flash back, Ethan's forced off from this. This is a really powerful side take. They're still pushing through on this. hiko could do with a bit of that magic, but it's not happening for him right now. Nothing's really coming through. And this close play coming out. They challenge on every single angle there. They finally successfully take the site in a full buy round, but I mean, we had ults coming out, we had plenty being thrown out there.
Actually, even really the Viper's bit a little bit of overkill there on the way in. Nonetheless, a Prime Gaming flawless on the side of Ascend.
1 enemy remaining.
Again, this is the thing. You look towards this. Is the plan for attack for 100 Thieves? What does this jet look like? Is it again? They're just going to lean heavily on this double duelist to create a lot of pressure for them, because right now we're not really seeing 100 Thieves get proactive. And again, with the operator purchase here, again, actually the first time we've seen them explore a little bit.
Asuna,
played out.
This is great though. He's still able to hold that cross. As soon as they had that go ahead to try and maybe posture towards middle, chase down someone like Nitro, they just couldn't. The cross was being held, the punish. They're going to fall away from that, kind of dissolve that little bit of mid-aggression that was being toyed with and fall back to more of a default hold. But look at that, again, such a heavy lean towards A. So much is put towards this. You can see as to why though. Ascender en route. Bone Cold, the first to stand forward. Meets Steel and loses. The follow-up, though, is a victory coming out for Ascend. Zeke does claim Asuna, and there goes Steel. So now Sight's suddenly a little bit more available. It was a bit of an alien, but the last 2 are deeper on that side.
Oh, actually, Nitro nearly caught off guard there, but Ethan finds Zeke in response there. Ethan got to be careful here, but Cned will actually swing and he will find it. Nitro now, last man standing for 100 Thieves.
Now he knows where roughly they are. He's got a decent idea. Spike Plant and Cned where he was. How are you going to drag him out of it, though? How are you going to try and make this favorable to you? A couple of junk peeks here and there, but they're not going to re-peek on that once they've got that little bit of confirmation. Keyless just biding the time. See if he can add to that paranoia. Maybe he's crossed, maybe he hasn't. Oh, Cena just checks. They're all just gathering tiny pieces of information on each other. He's made it towards the site. He's got the rifle, but he doesn't have much time. He has to make the move now, and they are just playing ring-a-rosy. Look at them going around it. He gets the final one, but Cned claims the round for Ascend. And we're seeing so many different looks between these two, but it is Ascend to win that.
Cned actually having the best start of the maps we've seen so far for him. Again, talked about obviously Ascent and Haven. How he came alive in the second half here, really, really leading the charge for Ascend. Again, this was just played perfectly. Running the clock down.
Let's go! Let's go, boys!
Just making Nitro second guess everything there. They will stack up this time here. Again, it's only Steel on this side. The Viper's pick going to be popped as well, but potentially actually, oh no, the Trailblazers didn't catch him.
Just got out.
I think he confirmed exactly where he was, but
yeah.
no stun comes through.
Yeah. So now you can see Zeke still trying to find any of these, you know, where is he? What's he up to? Oh, okay, we've spotted hiko. That's, I guess, something. That's a little different. Now, do they commit? It doesn't look like it. Eyes towards the spike, being kept in the pocket of Bone Cold. Back towards middle, maybe looking towards those double doors, see if they can catch someone leaning over from A, punish a rotation or two, but nothing's really there. If they do go for this kind of A piece, yes, there's a deep hold from Asuna, but other than that, they might have access. So, 100 Thieves not giving away much here.
No, Ascend, I think now at that point of the round where they need something to act upon. The flash actually from Ethan going to confirm Ascend have lent towards mid, or at least still present here towards B and towards elbow in particular. Actually, Asuna now going to preemptively rotate towards B, or at least towards Nest here. Actually, the Leer through mid. Once again, it will confirm this, yeah, but Nitro's got all the way into their spawn here. He could backstab this execute on A perfectly.
He can backfill this. Now with hopefully these audio cues coming through, he's going to maybe clear a little. And wait, Asuna just got called off. Absolutely unaware of maybe Starzo's positioning. But yeah. Oh! Zened! He still looks for it, finds Nitro. Huge impact for him. The 3 players remaining, Steel, Ethan, and hiko, aren't in a position to do much with this. They were so deep towards B. Yes, Steel was there at the start, that's fine. We saw that early rotation from hiko noted on that Owl drone, and Ethan sitting in the backside of the pillar. Yeah, Zeke's going to find Steel. Of course he's still exploring this side. They want to punish.
Actually, Ethan will give away the ping on the recon bolt as well. And hiko, to the, I think up until this point, unnoted or unconfirmed at least. They are going to try and charge this down and actually punish the economy even further, but hiko and Ethan will find kills, and at this point, off for 3 alive. Should we hold on to these weapons? And again, the operator, the important one in this scenario, but hiko and Ethan will hold on to weapons now. Let's see if actually 100 Thieves seeing a couple of wonky purchases, whether or not they force up around those 2 rifles held on to. And no Blade Storm available for Nitro, was burnt up in the previous. Sheriff visited him. It looks like they're just going to try and ride this out. Oh, maybe not, I guess. You're going to throw one across. Actually, Asuna going to be given a Phantom here at least. And a Marshal, a couple of pistols invested.
A split second away. Now he tries to take that line. Doesn't hit that one. Oh, dearie me, what is going on here? Team has to fall away from this. 100 Thieves can be happy enough they at least won that battle to some degree. Zeke still trying to eliminate anyone he can. hiko answers right back, doesn't deny the spike plant, but he does catch Bone Cold. Now that's an advantage to be played with. Asuna does have that rifle, so does hiko. Nitro got...
Look at Keyless.
What is going on here? Keyless on the flank though, but he's got so many targets to deal with. Luckily for him, Starzo's bailed him out as well. Starzo playing well from the site. Tries to control these building threats that were just kind of looming in the background, and Steel, your last man alive. Ain't gonna happen. Cena shuts the chapter on this round, and Ascend starting to tear away with a bit of a lead.
The biggest gap we've seen Ascend create really since the first map.
I want a timeout soon for 100 Thieves.
Granted.
Just saw it flash up there. I'm not entirely sure, but... Again, feeling the same way about these last few rounds you are, but again, for me, it's on these slow rounds where Nitro's able to walk, tube on, what do they achieve on the back of it? It's nothing, effectively. Again, it's a... There you go. Timeout was confirmed, but yeah, for me, I've got to see something a little more proactive from 100 Thieves. I don't feel as if they're really going to win out in this sort of let's sit and wait for the execute to come through, because Ascend actually demonstrate a lot of restraint, which for this map in particular, I was talking about Cena potentially coming back to being more self-sufficient. You see that in the early round, he's hopping up. He's not really relying on Zeke or anything else to find anything. It's him looking for first bloods. And again, straight away, we see that adjustment. hiko down in halls. There's a Trailblazer now in place. And actually, we see a third member to swing that. So he's so commanding in the first 30 seconds of the rounds where that's why I feel 100 Thieves just need to dig a little deeper and find something.
But I also don't feel like he's overstepping.
Oh, no.
It's a very fine balance. Exactly. This is all within safety.
Yeah.
He's just happy to keep making this sort of impact towards it. Now, coming out of this timeout, of course, Ascend have every opportunity now to go, well, let's do something completely different if they're trying to address those A pieces that have started to work. Maybe that mid-round that's started to have some effect. Let's find out what they go for here. It does seem as though Steel's got some support. Seeker's instantly coming out. I'm going to confirm there's probably, what, 3 people towards that B site?
The Aldrome will also confirm it. Whether or not, oh, look at this though, it's so much presence baited, and A site is going to be wide open. Ascend will storm on through. It's only really Asuna in position to do any damage on the way in. He'll find Bone Cold. Dismiss away. I'm looking for that mid presence once again.
Oh, the timing! Starzo! He didn't turn it! Asuna!
Planted.
He's just being such an imperative factor in middle right now. Now Zeke can try and rework this, but Asuna, I wouldn't put it past him to recheck towards this once in a while. You can see him dipping in between. He needs the rest of his side. And he's finally been called off now, and that's going to at least, I guess, highlight where Zeke's playing from. But where is the rest of 100 Thieves? They're sitting deep towards the CT side. They don't have a step back in on the side just yet. There's the first couple of peeks, and Cned still showing presence, but he knows there's going to be a close coming in here, and it's from the back lines. Ethan denied. Killer's beside him. Nitro's gone. Cned! This is the man we waited to see. And now Steel, there's no way through this. There's no way out. Starzo, he knows it. This one's going to sting. That's a big round on the board now for Ascend. Steel has to accept this one is done for. He can't do anything about it. The scoreline is starting to look scary for 100 Thieves fans.
4 rounds separate them now. And that's absolutely pivotal in this round for 100 Thieves. Again, finding these 2 kills is massive. Starzo seemingly totally unaware of the possibility that he's still there and still looking towards mid. But Cned, man, 2 massive kills for him. And again, the confidence booming in the Ascend camp. I need to see a response from 100 Thieves. Again, if this runs away with the purchase here, you got to argue this one leads towards 8-3. Any worse, and it's extremely scary for 100 Thieves going into the second half.
Struggling to find an answer. You can see it across them. They look a little flat for an answer. Maybe the man there.
Look at him.
He's bold. He's feeling it now. He's starting to maybe play that style that we talk about that can happen when the spark ignites. He can be a threat, but we've seen it in the others. We've seen it in 100 Thieves. We saw it in that Gambit game, pulling back a mad scoreline. Hiko clutching out time and time again. But right now, this is Ascend's moment, and they're leaning towards the B site. Steel does have the right full shot in the back, just accepts fate almost at that point, trying to peel away. You're not going to get out of it.
Get themselves a
Spike planted.
clean plant here. Hiko again just noting the Phantom is close by, maybe just waiting for a smoke or something to make absolutely sure. You can see, yeah, there's Nitro. Throw down a smoke for him, but Cned now.
Here we go.
Asuna falls, he's beacon again. Tag comes through just yet, though.
A little shaky from Starzo on that one. And Cned now starting to feel the pressure, starting to feel the burn. Killers, though. We said it before, safe pair of hands, that backline player who is just delivering when required. Cned now can just take the space if needed. It's gone astray. This is a weird round, but it will be an Ascend round, whichever way you cut this. And he's chased this down. Now, does he find Nitro just on the other side on the deeper angle? You can see it now. Nitro, big kill. Trying to keep hold of that rifle as best he can as well. And now Prospect's looking a little dire here for 100 Thieves. I'm worried for them now.
In the half.
I mean, when it comes down to preying on a 9-3 curse, it's not a comfortable position to be in. And again, I think Ascend just hitting their stride, really finding their groove here. And again, you can see it. 100 Thieves are almost becoming more risky, right? They're stacking heavier towards one side, just on the back of hoping that Ascend are going to walk into that. But the fact that they're not actually just pushing out a little bit, like I said, there's no confirmation of anything other than seeing it in the early round. And actually, it's going to be Zeke alongside him here. Look at this, they've given Hall up now. They don't even want to mess with this.
But they're giving up so much. They're putting this 4-play stack towards A again. Yes, Hiko does kind of occasionally dabble and check in on this. Even Steel's left B site. If this gets fell out, like, look where the spike is. They haven't fully committed for this piece yet. They haven't fully gone in towards A. They may do. But if they get an inkling of how many players are here, but the one who made the difference has been Asuna, trying to play those double doors, trying to do any damage he can. And Okay, Steel's now confirmed there's presence, and I'm sure there's temptation for Asuna now to make a bit of a play, start maybe leaning out a bit. It's Killes to find hiko. That's one of the backline players now removed. If I've got that spike, I'm looking at B going, well, I know hiko's been playing this. There it is. Asuna even got a tag on another. Bone Cold, where are you? Bone Cold! It's an absolute fumble from Bone Cold, and you don't have to give Asuna 2 bites of the cherry. Zeke, oh, the drive-by from Ethan. 100 Thieves are putting up some work here. Finally, we see them find a bit of that magic themselves, a bit of that fire in the belly. And Killes still alive. And now, no way. No way. Whoa, 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 whoa. See that? What is going on? Killes finds Nitro. This is now a 2v2. It was a 2v4.
Steel and Ethan now have to regroup. Acend still looking to pile on the pressure. Actually, Ethan will find Acend. Now it all comes down to Killes.
Don't
Will
ride him.
require an ace for him to close this out. Will actually fake out the
Ride him
mark
up.
yet. Actually, a lifeline for 100 Thieves. 8-4 will be the score at halftime. But it's not comfortable, Lauren. You've got to see 100 Thieves just pile on the pressure here at the start of the second half. Get Nitro online. Literally have Nitro be the deciding factor here for 100 Thieves.
This one is not over yet, and before we get to that second half, let's head down to the desk. Your thoughts so far, folks? This is super scary times for 100 Thieves.
Thank you very much, Pansy. Couldn't agree more. Scary times for 100 Thieves as they find themselves down 8-4 on the half, but still within striking distance, especially on a map like Breeze. But as it's Acend who's had the better half so far, Gio, for you, what has been the major factor in building that lead?
Well, here's the thing. On Breeze, there's a really big space. It's right in the middle of the map. It's called mid, and oftentimes if you're defending, you would like to have someone watching over that, maybe in Nest, maybe at double doors. That just for me has been somewhere that 100 Thieves have been really neglecting. We did see Asuna in that final round holding double doors, and it gave them a much better go at that round, but there were certain rounds there where Acend could just freely walk up through mid and with no impedance.
Yeah, I think certain areas are being exposed. Not only mid, I think some rounds you definitely had 100 Thieves get some control of that, and that's kind of where Acend started to turn the tides, but also halls. And that's a big part where that Sentinel can come in and really defend. So many times you saw Zeke lurking up through the halls and finding Asuna, finding hiko, something like that, or even finding the kills on the back of the players like Nitro in the A side itself.
Well, wouldn't you guess it, it's Acend who finds himself at the top of the scoreboard on that jet, doing his best 10's impression. However, not quite as dominant as some of the performances we've seen so far here on Breeze. Still quite enough to give his team a healthy lead.
I mean, he's applying a lot of pressure onto 100 Thieves, and by the time that Acend have been getting into the site, you know, they've been able to kind of send 100 Thieves into a bit of a frenzy at times because they're not as prepared, and it's done good.
I think one thing, too, is that this map is very swingy, okay? So just because it's a pretty dominant half for Acend, I think look at the emotions and the way that they're playing more than anything else, because the scoreline is not necessarily representative of a win right here.
Hypox said a name. He said Nitro on the second half. What does Nitro need to do?
Well, he's playing the jet role, right? So he needs to get up in the face, he needs to be taking the fights to Acend, and he needs to be pushing the pace.
All right, so Acend topped the table on his offensive half. It's up to Nitro to do the same on the very same agent pick. With that, we're going to head right back over to Pansy and Hypoc to close us out.
Let's get into this now. 8-4. Acend do have the lead, but they're right on the desk. This can swing back. One pistol round, you're right back up to it. This is very much still very possible for 100 Thieves. It has to start now for me. If Acend pick up this pistol, they'll just run this into the ground.
I mean, the same thing could happen as what happened on Haven, right? You trade back and forth with this round score. And it only leans in Acend's favor. See, actually, this league going to be a lot of pressure coming through onto B. Nitro actually going to try and get the tag, actually, but Acened's the one to open it up.
How is it Acend getting that? He does get traded. Wait,
Oh,
Acend.
no.
Okay, Hiko's still alive for now, so it's not over just yet for them. Still with a labored fight against Zeke, but it's okay.
Oh,
Hiko! He gets it on Killers, and you're right. He just strolled on in, but Bone Cold around the back. Now, Steel was looking this way. But for how long does he look this way? Trying to protect Hiko as he checks for this. And Bone Cold knows this is out and about, but now he's got the cross, the spike. There is an angle he can play with as he knows there's still one here. Steel keeps his life. Hiko has to be on red alert now. Protect Steel in this matter. Both now tagged up here. Bone Cold, it's a 1v2, but that's one! And now Hiko,
Down B.
the man who's got ice in his veins, clutches out so often. But Bone Cold, we've said it before, One of the best pistol players we get to
He's
watch
crossed.
sometimes. And he's made it closer. He goes, no idea. Now he does.
30
8
seconds
more
left.
goes at this with the amount in the mag. He steps closer. Hiko on the other side looks right. Oh
No
my
way.
god! Bone Cold, get out of here! Get out with that adjustment!
The pistol god himself for Ascend. It's only his 3rd in this map so far, but my god is it an important one. The Red Bull clutch here in the second half pistol round.
Showdown.
After I think 100 Thieves able to stabilize for a moment there. I gotta say it. Bone Cold playing this to perfection. That flick. Yeah, up on your feet for that one. Fair enough, but now 100 Thieves. The pressure building now. Nothing here except for a ghost on the side of Hiko. What can they get done?
Cena gets a lot of contact through this. He knows there's a fair few players on the other side. Killers, same sort of thing. These two have been outstanding on that first half as well. And there it is. You're seeing more of that. Killers and Deke doing well. Asuna the only one to make impact.
Player standing.
Hiko is down. 10 rounds for Ascend. They are on the
Getting
verge
scary.
of tearing this away from 100 Thieves before they even had a chance in the second half. This is looking dominant so far, but 100 Thieves have to find their answer in the next 2. They have to do something in, honestly,
This round.
This is the one. We've got to look at Nitro, big impact. Asuna, same thing. I need to see all of the stars align for this side that we know are there.
And I mentioned Nitro just to be that deciding factor because I think he needs to be the one to be that tempo change for 100 Thieves. It was such a slow first half. Here needs to be him now digging deep, finding something for 100 Thieves. Again, it's a very, very slow start. Bone Cold actually going to walk all the way to the end of Hall here.
It ain't just Bone Cold either.
With a friend, it's Zeke, right alongside him.
They seem like they know, though. Nitro seems all too aware of this potential. Steel's down there too, but timing's everything. The spikes on the other side. Yeah, they're just going to sit on this. They can do if they want. Got every angle covered now. The piece is kind of building towards B, at least the look of it potentially coming through, but it's not just yet. And here comes the fact finder. Aldrone goes down, but it's Bone Cold still gun out. He's still on this. 100 Thieves know there's problems around here. If they get too passive, they could be in trouble. Ooh, well played by 100 Thieves. They kept that in check. Now, obviously, Ascend know what's on the other side, but they have the man advantage. They've got the rifles. They can lean towards that A site.
And the Aldrone being noticed as well. They know exactly where Zeke is, actually. Stars are going to come along, pick up the weapon, but 100 Thieves already
Out of charges.
inside sight. Again, taking a little long to get the spike down, but again, Ascend
30
not really
seconds
set
left.
up just yet. Keeler's still got a ways to go to rejoin his teammates. See if Ascend can find anything on the way in here. Actually, that's an absolutely slapping CNED before he even has a chance.
Clean round is exactly what 100 Thieves would need in this scenario. Oh, Ethan, keep your life. There's a lot of rifles. You don't want to be losing here. The Clash Killers, he eats it, but he still takes Ethan with him. But Asuna, this is a big round for him.
One enemy
A
remaining.
very big round for Asuna, keeping them at arm's length. And Starzo shouldn't be able to get too far. No, they still have a little bit of a glance, which is exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah.
And there it is. 4 alive. Just fine. Keep those rifles up. Game back on.
Again, they turn that one around, but now Ascend in a position to buy back into this. Have to see if 100 Thieves can keep that up, because again, very, very slow at the start of that. And you can see Ascend actually being way more proactive than 100 Thieves were. Again, with that double walk up Hall, knowing full well that actually on a couple of the other rounds they show presence, they can then lean on Keeler's utility, which is something that 100 Thieves didn't have.
Yes.
Which it actually enables them to find space elsewhere. So there's a number of different variations we can potentially see from Ascend.
But this is why we were calling upon being aggressive with the likes of Nitro, Asuna, seeing them being those game changers. When you don't have that utility to depend upon, you put your body on the line, kind of. You got to hit those rotations just perfect. We still see that up out for CNED. That's come into play. 5 rifles on the other side. And there's no rush in this for 100 Thieves. You can see it. They're taking their time, but Ethan's already been lost.
Toxin screen down.
Big loss as well. Steel's been outside. Again, nobody shown. Zeke's not really revealed himself just yet. And a Guardian, so he's got to find this first headshot, if anything, and he will do just that. Asuna and Spike noted.
One shot, one kill. He needs some more though. Gonna dip through the smoke. He tries to catch hiko off guard. That doesn't happen. Hiko too aware. And now the 3v3. Spike is down. So 100 Thieves at least have the time in their favor. Gonna pop the ult as well. They want to make sure they've got a nice defensive area to hold down. Maybe leave that backline to be controlled by Nitro on that final look through, excuse me, hiko if needed. But look at the gap already being closed. Ascend right around them. These are very tricky positions to hold down. Now Nitro's been noted. He wants to push out for it, but Steel's got his back. Bone Cold gone. Viper v Viper. It's going to be Steel with another C-Net down, and Nitro's found it. And this is still going their way. 100 Thieves are digging deep right now.
3 survive as well. That's what you look towards. Get themselves an opportunity now to convert through and again, close that gap a little more. See if Ascend have anything actually available to throw into this. Wow, Steel found this next one. Wow, he actually swings out there. I thought he got it from straight inside the Viper's pit, but Asuna looking fired up right now.
They've broken the money.
They have.
That's what they had to do.
This is the one that potentially brings 100 Thieves within touching distance. The timeout again. Ascend essentially to gather their thoughts. Well, whether or not they want to push a little deeper here, push a little harder, because again, 100 Thieves happy to play this game once again. And coming back to that discussion on Ascend, you know, that macro sort of reliance that 100 Thieves have, or at least you know, the back pocket sort of thing, where I think, you know, it's probably the comfort zone, right? Ascend happy to throw that out the window sometimes. Again, on a round like this, they can almost, you know, send some probes out, even just do some damage. That's the objective at the end of the day. But it's all lessons. It's snippets of information about exactly what 100 Thieves are doing, and that's important for the rounds that follow.
Again, for 100 Thieves, though, we've got to look at it on that side, right? It's you can't take your foot off the gas now. It's got to be all the way down the whole way through. This is 2 back-to-back rounds. Rifles have come out, they've looked much better. Asuna doing well, Steel finding moments too. It's looking like a B-lean to at least the start, but we'll see where the intention lays. I'm sure they're going to feel out maybe if there's a stack, see if they're up to anything a little fruity. I'm not sure how much info they got for that, maybe at least 1 or 2 players. Looks like they're going to continue forward as a pack, just this death ball approach. Flash in towards Pillar, and away we go. It's Bone Cold on the other side, probably going to leave a little bit of a sting after that pistol round, but a couple of odds and ends there. Frenzy, Sheriffs, Marshals. Not too much, but enough that it's at least forced 100 Thieves away, maybe trying to catch that rotation, which they almost did towards Killers.
Starzo pushing out here. So you can see the dash from Nitro. Perfect to catch him before he can fall back.
The re-aggress would be perfect now.
Yeah, perfect timing for it.
Great work. Even
Bone Cold all the way out of here.
Yeah, lovely little reaction play. Now, obviously, they still have to clear the site. Like, you know, we know there's no one there, but they still have to be very methodical and clean about clearing the site, which they're doing. And even the jump spot there does confirm that there is someone working back through that connector. It is C-Ned, and you don't get away with that. Ethan's going to find him.
Careful here.
Let's see if they can keep this clean. 5 standing is the name of the game for 100 Thieves, and obviously the round as well. Now that wall, if removed, will reveal a great deal. Asuna and Ethan, no problem so far. And it is a flawless round indeed. Prime Gaming flawless coming in. 5 alive. Spike plant controlled. They punished the push out. Even though Ascend were trying to find that bit of space, it was instantly considered.
I mean, on both sides of the game there, it's a great anti-eco on the side of 100 Thieves. But again, you can't fault them. Stars are actually in a perfect position to, I guess, anticipate that 100 Thieves were rotating away. But Nitro, again, just really, really simple outplay, honestly. The dash to window to just catch him before he can slip away creates that opening. 100 Thieves are in a position to capitalize immediately on it. Here, this is the round you look towards. C-Ned now, operator in hand, 1 off the Blade Storm. Zeke 1 away from the Hunter's Fury. Zeke is invested actually off the
Super
rip here from Starzo.
They just want to get that
push
stack
out,
right. Oh my word, Hiko! How many times? Wait, C-Ned's just pushing. C-Ned's just pushed up into like no man's land. Yes, he can kind of move around a little bit mobile than others, but that was quite brave of that. No trade came through either. You could see maybe C-Ned was trying to find that potential, but something you're noting is how deep Asuna has pushed here. Could be looking to catch someone, maybe.
Yeah, Tripwire just outside the double doors, but 100 Thieves now will stack up towards shop. And the Seekers in response will actually reveal CNED here, so he's faced with a dilemma, actually. Yeah, we're looking at A5, Ethan just behind Nitro.
He plays it so well. How is he so calm under this much pressure? Still surrounded on all fronts. Zeke's got his back though. Asa's been caught. That flag's now removed. Oh, but a bounding player comes flying on in, and he leaves it all in the hands of hiko. Finding this kill would have been essential. Oh, the tag onto Bone Cold. This could be sick. No, CNED just destroying the dreams of hiko there. No clutches today. No fun to be had. It's 11 for Ascend and 100 Thieves right back under the gun now.
He goes so close to finding that. Again, the headshot, just a response. It feels bad for Ethan. The dash forward from Nitro is what gets him killed. But again, Ascend, they withstand so much pressure here. Finally, again, all it needs is a classic right click. 100 Thieves, the economy now reset. Force a full repurchase out of this. Ascend on 11 rounds now. A huge round for 100 Thieves here. They need to convert this.
Pivotal round, you're right. This, it echoes through the rest of what's left. Sat on not just map point, but match point, and the ticket to the semi-finals on the line. Zeke fancying doing his best hiko impression after the Hunter's Fury have been sent out today. Does get the tag on steal, but not much more.
Here again. Asuna and Ethan set up outside B towards elbow, just anticipating Ascend now, trying to get
Here.
a little fruity with it. But Zeke goes hunting. Steel's already tagged up. We know that from the Hunter's Fury, but he's pushing that. Steel is not looking his way at all, Lauren. Oh my god, he's going to post up right behind him.
Oh, this is the weirdest exchange. Zeke just gets a freebie on Steel. Absolutely none the wiser. If anything, this will spur on 100 Thieves. They have to now make this if Starzo waits. The judge on the other side just causing dread. The jump up, it's going to get the tag. Another flash comes out. He is being the biggest problem. He's setting up killers, and he's taking down 100 Thieves. Ascend on the verge now of getting to 12. As Asuna called upon in the dire hours now to try and do something to take this back. That's one. He knows there's another chance here. Oh, he's close. The gap! Asuna, this is incredible, but he's got more to do. CNED on 1 HP, and then one above. It's going to be Zeke. It's CNED to shut it down. 12 is on the board. Ascend a 1 away.
There's a moment there. He landed the headshot on CNED. Oh my word. Absolute heroics from Asuna there in that round, but nothing will come of it for 100 Thieves. Zeke. Again, this is the sort of thing where Ascend are able to just get themselves into these dirty little positions. It's so hard to anticipate where Ascend set up, where they've pushed out, where they found space. CNED will seal the deal with that 1 HP. Like I said, the headshot came through. So unlucky for Asuna. And you can see it there. Ascend now on map and series point. 100 Thieves trail by 5. They will pull together a purchase. Full armor across the board. Blade Storm available. Nothing else on the cards for 100 Thieves here.
It's crunch time. Ascend. One more round is all they need. One pop-off from Achilles, a CNED, someone to do something. 100 Thieves know it as well. No strangers to this scenario. Probably the most veteran side you could ever imagine on this team. Every single player, just pure pedigree throughout in the FPS scene. Now's the time to call upon those years. Now's the time to find a bit of that fire to put you through here. To give you another chance, to give you another fighting round in this. In 7 seconds, they got to face the music. Decent purchase for both sides. The Bulldog for Achilles. And we go back in 12-7. It's match point for Ascend. The semi-finals just 1 round away.
Starzo initially spotted. Again, we've got a couple of walls to slip in and out, and the will just confirm. We already know now. Bone Cold actually on the overside. Viper's Pit invested here, so they can potentially lean away from B. As I say that, 100 Thieves actually can try and rotate and find something on the other side of the map. Now, Asuna comes across. Important thing is, Ascend still have a second player committed behind his Viper's Pit. Now that could potentially catch 100 Thieves off guard, just like CNED will find Steel inside shop.
Steel now just has to sit back and watch. Puts all his faith in the four that stand. As they work their way up elbow. The swing, he'll put it in towards the likes of Keyless. He'll put it into the likes of Bone Cold, and they know it now. Keyless now knows what's coming his way. He's going to put up anything he can to try and make this trickier. But then close the gap. Asuna, great breakthrough kill, but good work again. Asuna is still doing it, but CNED, he's here. He's finally arrived. And he gets sent packing. Nitro out of nowhere. And now Zeke in the 1v2. Is it now? Is it the next, or is it never? Zeke, what can you find from this hiko? A little on his own.
Don't stand up, Hiko. Don't stand up.
As soon as this is... Oh, the timing.
Oh my god.
He has no idea. They have no idea. Hiko's walking towards CT. Now they know. And the position from Hiko should be a gift. It should be the golden position to catch this cross. And Zeke can only take steps. The gun barrel shows Hiko knows it. They live to fight one more round. They continue in this fashion. But Asuna is putting in serious work right now.
Heroics from Asuna. Again, pulling 100 Thieves through these rounds again, just leading the charge. 2 massive kills to open up here, and CNED actually responds here. This is disgusting from Nitro. That headshot. Again, ripping away CNED in a position that's so difficult to counteract.
I love it. So he even goes for the jump, so at worst, maybe just a tag comes in, but he should still get that shot. Such diligence, and now they've broken the money. This could be 9 now on the board. There's always a threat, there's always a danger, there's always a chance that the pistols find the right place, but let's see if 100 Thieves can keep it clean. Superior weaponry coming in on this, everything they need. The sight looks completely absent. It's not. 2 players behind this wall. The first one pulls the trigger. Flash goes in, Asuna puts the Lear up, they're fine. They've cleared it, that's the threat now removed. Spike to be planted, 3 on the retake.
All handled on the way in there by 100 Thieves. Let's see if Keyless, Bone Cold, or Starzo can get anything done. Actually, Bone Cold will find 1 before he falls. Again, a drop in the ocean.
Last player standing.
Steel will find Keyless.
Not getting called out twice.
No. No, he's wise to it this time. And whether or not Starzo's gifted a constellation. Getting the judge from there, it's going to be difficult for him to win this one. I think actually just catching an audio cue, so... Steel. So awkward when you watch this as well, because Starzo, again, he can't swing this goal. Actually, no, it's Steel that's close he can, yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't know that, so it's all a matter of timing, patience, and the clothesliner. So 3 still alive for 100 Thieves, round on the board.
They bring it within 3. Ascend back on their purchase now. 100 Thieves could go to double digits.
They could. Absolutely, they could.
And the problem being, actually, once they get to 10 rounds, the economy becomes a really, really interesting discussion. Because right there, I mean, at that point, you lean heavily in favor of overtime.
Yes.
In terms of the expected outcome of the next couple of rounds. We have to wait and see. Actually, ultimates would then be a consideration because you look at the progress on both sides, but come back to that 100 Thieves again.
Oh, Seeker's very early.
I've got your train.
It tells them nothing.
Both Seekers. No, this CNED still up on this close angle. He's trying to end this now.
Way.
He wants this over and done with. Nitro should have this angle. He's going to get 1, but he actually falls away. They don't know CNED, but Nitro still does well to find killers. Now,
Bone Cold.
This is the thing. Bone Cold. Oh, he pulls the trigger. Nitro. He's still. Oh, Nitro! What a heroic round from him, but they're still CNED. Oh, the battle of the ops going out. He just about catches him in the heels. How is CNED alive? They're trying to close this gap, but it's CNED on the other side. There is always a chance when it's CNED. He's going to find Ethan. He falls away to the back of the site. And now he's got another chance of this. The rest of his side are coming around, but he wants back in. He wants to get aggressive. He wants to stop this now before it starts. But the spike's going down. The Viper's pit is up. And the chances dwindle now.
And actually faced with...
He's still here, man.
So much to deal with on site, and CNED still dug in. Doesn't get all the tags, down to 67 HP now. Does he go exploring?
Unrelenting aggression. He finally gets caught up by Asuna. The last player alive is Starzo in 1v4. And this would be double digits for 100 Thieves. So desperately needed. He's trying to play something almost ninja in this. Not going to happen. Hiko's got him.
Oh,
we're at double digits, boys.
God.
It's looking like OT, Hypoc. I've got to say, it's looking real like OT could be coming up here.
But you think about this here. I mean, the only saving grace is that CNED didn't throw his Blade Storm in the mix there. So an opportunity for him to get something done. At least quell some of this early aggression on the side of 100 Thieves. Because again, we see Ascend lean towards Halls, lean towards Nest. It's Sened to hold down the fort on A main. And again, 100 Thieves actually don't give him anything at the start there. There's that initial trade-off of, you know, flashes and a smoke, the Viper wall comes up. Sened unable to find anything. Nitro posted so deep on a weird little off angle that's actually deep towards default. It's not even just A main, right?
Yeah. Time out time. Sweat starting to form on the brow, I think, of Ascend here.
But we start leaning towards the experiences, right?
Yes, we
Again,
do.
at this point, building back a comeback like this. You gotta, again, at this point, I'm thinking, well, yeah, the next one's a save round, then it's one round, and then it literally becomes a psychological game.
Absolutely. And for 100 Thieves, it's just we win the round that's in front of us.
Exactly.
It's just the round you're in. Nothing else matters to you. It's that round that is presented to you in that moment. Round by round, they have brought this back, but they haven't done it just enough yet. There's still 2 more rounds before OT, or it's GG. That's it. This is all on them to tear back. We're up against Sheriffs, but they're not without a bitter bite to this. They've got the light armor, they've got some odds and ends, and Sened, does he go with the ult?
If I'm Sened, I'm throwing it in the mix. There you go. So they will push out here. And the first time, actually, we've seen them really address mid and elbow. Nitro will actually find Keyless on the opener.
Lovely deep
And
hold
that's
from
just
100
it, yeah.
Thieves. I love that.
This is the perfect read.
Yeah, great read from them. And we said about experience, this sort of thing, understanding the intentions of what Ascend would want to do. This is perfect deep hold, but it's not completely gone yet. There's still 2 Sheriffs. There's still that Ghost. Nitro, not able to land it, but it's fine. Have to wait for that sight hit. It does look like A is the end goal.
What's the thing now? They stack up. They potentially just have a 5v1, whichever site they decide to go to. Actually, Zeke going to be here, so it'll be 2 to defend, but the Aldrone will confirm this. The flash will confirm it as well. Ethan deals with Zeke immediately.
2 stand.
Player
1
standing.
now. It's Starzo, the only one still alive here. And it's going to be 12 to 11. It's going to be 12 to 11. Starzo, you're great, but not that great. 100 Thieves don't know when they're done. They are dragging this one back, kicking and screaming. They will not go quietly. They will drag this all the way. And the final hurdle now. The one round that all of this could either be something for or nothing. It could all be for nothing if they don't win this one.
Operator online for Sened. No other ultimates other than the neural theft. On the side of 100 Thieves, Hunter's Fury, and the Empress. So good opportunities to find openers here in this round. See hiko send the Aldrone out now. Hopefully nobody gets tagged, but if anyone, see Sened and potential to dash away, but on the back of that, operator noted, and 100 Thieves immediately retreat back to bottom mid.
Very quick lean to the other side of the map. They
Look
can
at it, it's
springboard off
drawn
Ethan.
one at this end.
Yeah. So again, this is a great read from 100 Thieves though. They're going to be the perfect place for this. Pops the ult. Asun's going to lead the way on this one. There's the flash, there's the Lear. Everything's going their way. They haven't made the step to the site yet, but also look at the lurk coming out from Steel as well. That's going to be the late game plan that could punish these rotations, but they still need to win the fight on the site. Pop of the ult, it comes down. Bone Cold's in trouble. High flash comes in, he's eaten it, but he's still alive. Not
No way.
until then. Hiko finds Bone Cold. 4 now alive. They know it. You can see it on Bone Cold's face. He kicks back. He knows they're in danger. There's the look. What? Wait, Hiko, what just happened? It's okay. It's okay. Or is it? Sened's still alive. Okay, Nitro, there it is. Call on those years of experience. Call on it now, because don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. 12-12. We're going OT.
Oh my
sides.
word.
Overtime.
I cannot believe it. 100 Thieves pull something from the depths of all these years of experience. And Ascend now gotta be feeling the heat. It's, I can tell you right now, it's almost silent out there. And it has been for 5 rounds now. The economy reset. Back to a blank canvas here. We'll see Ascend now start on the attacking half. And they're doing the same thing again, Lauren. It's 4 in place on A site. Steel, the lone member of 100 Thieves to hold down B site. And it's looking like an all-in PC net with a big swing.
Swing and a miss, though. Doesn't find Nitro on the other side, but now Nitro has the angle. Gonna be harder to clear. The gun barrel being kind of toyed with. He's with Starzo, closes in, though. Gonna get himself right towards the back lines of sight. He's gonna wolf this. You know he's gonna wolf this.
Oh,
but he's
no!
flashed! Oh, no way! This is a fumble and a half. Asuna and Nitro greeting with a smile. They weren't phased at all. Zened, Zeke, Killers, there's the dig deep, there's the team you need to be seeing. Killers on the swing, gets caught by Nitro. Zened and Zeke, the last 2 alive, and Zeke is already tagged low. This needs to be some of that Zened work, and it's not going to happen. Nitro has outdone him, Steel's outdone him. 100 Thieves take the lead.
What is left in the tank for Ascend here? They try an all-in piece. They try to set the tone here in overtime, but 100 Thieves stamp it out. A slight overstep from Starzo there.
Just so slight. And Nitro's off work has been excellent.
Again, to see that locked in on Agent Select and the expectations, he's delivered now. That second half, again, I said he needs to be the driving force for them, but coming up huge here in the first overtime round. 100 Thieves now need to convert the attacking round.
And Ascend haven't had this pressure on them. They've got to this point just going, next round we got it, next round, don't worry about it. We can do this, it's still okay. And now it's not okay. Now they are staring down the barrel of a gun and 100 Thieves are holding it.
I got the spike.
Now wait and see. 100 Thieves taking their time. They're testing the waters. We've seen them play slow. They play that default out for a little while here. And they get the read.
So nothing actually, I mean, way less invested. The Owl Drone, yes, but in terms of typical tells on the attacking rounds from 100 Thieves, now they will stack up towards shop. Actually, one member Steel will push through Hall here, but Nitro found himself some space to work with. Bone Cold and Stars are up behind this wall. Damage exchange. Kilo's actually isolated right now. The flash is perfect.
He's closed the gap. Ethan's coming with another. This could be it. 100 Thieves on the verge of destroying Ascend, ripping the lead away from them as Zeke and Zened need to rise above, and they can't do it. Nitro to close. A flawless round to win it on. And against the odds, against the round score, against every aspect of this game, 100 Thieves just rose to the occasion.
Absolutely insane from them to build back into that when Ascend looked in total control of that decider. You can see what it means to them. Again, they fought so hard, but just get over that final hurdle, which is the experience there. Again, 100 Thieves, most of these members molded in scenarios like that.
We've seen it once, we've seen it twice. Gambit felt that same pressure. Now, Ascend. EU